Players Den. This is episode 57. This is our year in review, our game awards. Throw a couple topics in there just to get everybody, thoughts and that stuff. But we have some really special guests tonight. Basically, Wise was able to get the entire Gaming After Dark crew here, which I'm very honored to have here. We actually tried getting Noof on in September, but there was some work issues and that stuff, which I'm glad that we were able to reschedule. This is great having every one of you guys on here tonight and that stuff. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. But let's get the show on the road and everything. I'm going to introduce our guest first, Mr. Noof Nukem. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Boom, boom, kaboom. Yes, it's Noof Nukem in another podcast room. It is an honor and glad to be here finally. Yes, it should be a good show. I can't wait to talk about some of the best that was, the best it is, and the best it'll ever will be. And yes, you were happy to have the entire cast of Gaming After Dark minus Cerebral Paul. Oh, no, Paul's there. But I was going to
What?
say...
Hey.
You're happy to have us until we start talking, and then you're like, oh, God, that was a regret.
Shows the fuck up at the last second.
That happens on every show I'm on. It's just.
Well, I'm going to, since Paul actually just jumped in, I'm going to introduce him, Mr. Cerebral Paul. How are you doing tonight, sir? It's also great to have you on to the show because you're on Jay's show every Tuesday night, Retro Renegades at 7 o'clock in that. I've been on a couple of times. I was supposed to be on a couple weeks ago, but something got in the way. But how are you on tonight, sir?
I'm doing good, just chilling. Been kind of a relaxing day leading into the Christmas vacation or Christmas weekend. So, playing some High on Life and just watching some TV and stuff. So
that's good. That's good.
Yep.
I was trying to relax myself today, and I just didn't have any go to do anything today. So got a shower and was able to get things rolling and that stuff. But here we are. Next, I'm going to introduce Mr. Darth Praxis. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, excellent. Well, as far as I know. Or as far as you know. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get things going for you and get everybody's thoughts and that stuff on the news, and especially with the year in review and also the Game Awards. I want to hear everybody's, their top game that they played this year and that stuff. So I can't wait to get into that.
Well, I guess I'm out on that one.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Did you not play any games all year?
The games I play aren't exactly new-ish. They're kind of more the older stuff.
They still count. We'll still count.
Yeah, you can still say which one of those that you played that you really enjoyed.
Are they mostly HTML5 ones you play online at certain sites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they text adventures? What are we talking about here?
They have to do with the father. No, never mind. Keep going.
Who?
Did you send out the link via Twitter? I don't see your link.
No, but would you be able to do that for me?
Yeah,
I have not sent the. I'm actually starting to answer the chat and everything. So, what I'll do is jump over to Mr. Loke. How are you doing tonight, sir? And also, how is the weather in Texas?
Hi, everyone. I'm good. It is 25 degrees, not Fahrenheit, just degrees. I am in Mozambique. For anyone that's listening, I don't live in Texas. I promise you, it is a troll. I do not live in Texas. I live in Mozambique. It's in Africa, the southern tip of Africa. Please Google it if you have to.
Yeah, there was something. There was something on Twitter that they were comparing Mozambique with the state of Texas, and it's right. It's just about the right size.
Oh,
so.
Well, you say that like it's like he's not really happy about that at all, is he? Oh, don't compare us with those people. Holy shit!
I thought it was a lot like Texas when I was in Mozambique. I don't know. Felt the same.
When you in Mozambique, what the hell? Anyway, I've been playing Siberia and Ghost of Tsushima, and Football Manager as well.
Oh, Football Manager.
Oh, I recognize that game on the screen. I used to be really bad at that game.
But is it
you know what?
Football Manager or is it Football Manager?
It's Football Manager.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
What I just figured I'd throw some like retro stuff,
Yeah, there you go.
in there tonight, just to kind of like goof around that stuff. It's only about an hour, but I was thinking about getting the Atari 50. Was it 50th anniversary or something like that? And I'm just waiting for a little bit more of a discount in that. So,
If I don't see Metal Gear throughout
you
the
will
show,
not see Metal Gear.
I'm quitting.
No, there's
I'm
no Metal
done. This
Gear
is
on the
last
Atari. There's
episode
no
I'm
Metal
doing.
Gear.
If you don't put Metal Gear, any one of them, even the old one, I'm done. I'm done with the Doomslayers Den.
Ooh, wow.
The gauntlet is thrown.
That's
Metal
up,
Gear, what
man.
the hell is that?
Messed up.
Who said what the hell is that?
It's all about Splinter Cell, baby. Sam Fisher all day, every day. Woo!
Triple, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. This kind of cold. Like I'm sure most of my people in the Midwest are. So yeah.
Yeah. It went, like I said, it went from like 50 degrees this morning right down to 20 or 25, and I was like, "This is ridiculous."
No, it was like, what was it 40 degrees yesterday, and then it was
Yeah.
like it's -1. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah, this is nice, and where I'm at, the window has a nice draft coming through, so it's I got a jacket on and fireplace behind me and all that crap going on. So, Jim, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
And your puppy?
Walked out of the room and went to her bed.
Oh, okay. She don't want to hear us either.
Nah, she was like, well, since you ain't giving me food, fuck you. Well, now she's back.
Are you not feeding your dog?
No, she gets a half pound of fresh pet every night. Well, every meal period, which is morning and evening, so a whole pound every day.
So it's like just miss out breakfast, lunch.
The dog weighs
No.
2 pounds and gets a full pound to eat.
No, she's about
Shit.
28.
Ah.
Wise, how are you doing tonight, sir? Are you not going to be cutting anybody off tonight? Are you going to tone it down tonight to where you're not going to be talking as much? And,
Wow, that'll be a miracle. That'll be a Christmas
everything?
miracle. That will be a Christmas fucking miracle right there.
Paul, stop! You are saying the same thing that the 30 people DM'd me Sunday and Monday about him, and it's making him depressed.
It was
Wise.
55 people. Now it's 30. Why are you bringing the number down? Why?
That's all the ones that I answered and deleted. I didn't answer and go through the other ones yet. So
Well, I love you.
I
Wise.
will go completely PhD on all your asses. Okay, I can do that. Okay.
Yeah, those other 15 people, those are the ones that had their comments cut off by Wise.
Yeah.
The rest
Those
were-
are the other.
rest were
Those other
bots.
15 people. No, those other 15 people retracted their message after I subscribed to their OnlyFans page. Okay, so that's
Well,
why
it's-
they didn't do it.
The generous donation too.
Yeah, $5
Is
a
this
month ain't
common-
bad.
I gotta ask Noof and Darth and Cerebral, is this a normal thing that goes on with Wise? I mean, it's just not our show.
Paul
He
can
actually
answer
does
that
it to
question
everybody
for
else.
Oh, well, so what kind of censorship is there on this show? Because this could
None.
get nasty. Okay,
None.
no.
Before we
Yeah.
continue, you will have to sign the non-disclosure agreement. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's going to get more complicated than the FTC versus Microsoft.
Hey, I'm all for it, man. We got plenty of time in that stuff.
No, he's like that on our show too. Yeah, trust me. It's
Would y'all like to see the intellectual version of me? Would y'all like to see it? I can do
Oh my
it.
God.
I can fake it till I make it. Basically, that's what I did for my wedding, so that's what I can do right now.
you're not gonna have a stroke if you do that, are you? All right.
Oh, he'll be stroking all
I'm
right.
having. Oh yeah, I'm stroking right now as we speak. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I figured that much. Yeah.
Come on, Wise,
Yeah, I hear the
baffle us with
PS5
bullshit.
going on in the background.
It It is really fucking cold outside. It's 20 degrees. I live in Ala freaking Bama. We don't get this type of weather here, okay? That's for you up northern motherfuckers, okay? It is cold. We get a threat of a snowflake falling somewhere in a 10-mile vicinity. The whole freaking city shuts down. It is really freaking cold. I don't know what to do. Like, literally, the cat went outside and was like, what the hell? You know, what the hell happened from last night to tonight? So trying to keep my
if the temperature drops any lower there, those Alabama people can have trouble keeping count,
Exactly.
They won't be able to make it out to the outhouses.
Hey, Wise, do you need a hug? Fuck you.
Well, here's the good news about all of it, right? This morning, my wife is like, oh, okay, we're going to go out for Christmas dinner. We'll go make a reservation. So they made a reservation to this really swanky upscale place. And then the kids went out later on this afternoon and they came back in. They're like, yeah, we're not going out for dinner. So I saved myself some money. So the low temperature did have a good benefit. I saved myself, about $200?
So they made reservations at a swanky place and they included you? Wow, that's impressive.
I never said I was going to go. I just have to pay for it. They can't bring me out in public in front of people. Of course not, So
I didn't think so. Yeah.
It all been pretty good. It's okay. I'd rather be at home with my blow up doll anyway. So it's cool. It's cold outside.
I told my wife I was going to buy a real doll, and she didn't even know what it is. And I sat there and I showed her a picture on the internet, and I'm like, "This is what it is." I says, "The good thing is, there's no voice box on it, so it doesn't talk back to you. So after I'm done, I don't have to worry about chit chatting and that stuff." So
I thought mine didn't have a voice box, but after a while, it started having headaches. It started telling me not tonight. I got a cold or I got a headache. So I don't know.
Well, see, I was telling my wife this, and she was sleeping, so it was like I was talking to the wall anyway, like I always do. So it don't matter.
Well, that's how come you're with us here tonight, because if she did wake up and you were
She's an evil woman, very evil. All right, so let's get on with the show, because I want to make sure I give everybody enough time for their game awards and things like that. I did want to throw out two real quick topics for everybody. And I apologize, Triple, for taking this over, but I just wanted to run through this. Triple will be the man that is going to be going through all the topics after the new year and that. Him and I work on it, and it's basically going to be his show with me chiming in that. So,
TCG.
Sorry,
he's into games.
I wanted to bring this up to you guys and see everybody, or get everybody's thoughts on this. There was, some news from Reuters this week. Microsoft, after the ABK deal is done, they get that done and get to Activision. They're thinking about maybe possibility of buying Netflix. And I just wanted to see, what everybody's thoughts on this is. So I want to start with our guest first. I'm going to start with Darth. What's your feelings on this? Do you even care about this? Is this even bigger than the ABK deal?
No, in certain ways, from standpoint of like the entertainment industry, I would say that's a bigger deal. And Microsoft has quite a bit more. I would think they have quite a bit more cash even than Amazon does to be able to toy with and throw at it. But as far as for me, it feels more like the steps that they took with the Xbox One when they were saying, "Yeah, we can play TV on it too," in some ways. But it's a big deal. But I still think the Activision deal is a much bigger deal. I'd be surprised if anybody tried to block this too. I mean, it really would.
Yeah, because somebody was saying something the other day about that Netflix uses Amazon servers or something like that for all their computer whatever mumbo jumbo.
Oh, a huge number of companies actually use their servers. Amazon servers are insanely huge. I'm from the Bay Area, and like half of the town were cloud buildings, these big windowless monstrosities that started popping up everywhere. And basically they're massive cloud server farms, huge, fucking huge. And most of them were owned by Amazon. And so, yes, they lease server space to Netflix, and Netflix is in the Bay Area too.
Okay.
So they're all there.
But then somebody was saying that if Microsoft actually bought them, that Netflix would go over to the Azure infrastructure, the cloud and whatever that is, and that. So I don't know anything, and to be honest with you, and I don't, apologize to anybody here. I don't get into any of this stuff.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
My take is
really-
pretty much, that's about it.
I try to understand it.
I understand it. I'm just not that interested. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, whatever.
It's just like the the Activision thing. It's like, why are people so invested in it? I mean, what is it actually doing for you?
Well,
I mean,
the Activision thing. So the difference between Netflix doesn't have some kind of like tangible infrastructure that people can hold on to and touch and like take a side of. Netflix is Netflix. Whereas in the game industry, you definitely have sides that people can take. And that's really the differences. And that's why there's such a difference between those two situations. You got people that are going to look at it from one side and go, oh my God, you're going to deprive me of what I want. And the other was, all right, we get all this. So, I mean, that's why you have a problem with that. As far as from the Netflix standpoint, like I said, to me, it makes more of a difference to people in Hollywood and those in the entertainment industry. Other than maybe getting their hands on some properties on Netflix, but there's not that much. And I wouldn't be like, I mean, it's just another venture and another avenue for them to take for their online presence. So
and they're also getting involved with gaming too, kind of like a mobile thing or whatever.
Well, that may be what Microsoft's interested in. That may be why they're doing it to kind of. And now, in that case, and if it came up in that way and it was presented by Sony, of course, to the FTC or anybody else saying, look, they were going to start a gaming service and now they're buying them to stop them. Now that would bring a whole bunch of ire up and it could cause even more trouble, which is silly because look at what Amazon did, in my opinion, in a massive waste of time and money with their gaming service that just, I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, it actually better than pretty good. It was pretty good, but it was weird because of a multitude of problems it had.
Okay. Noof, what is your thoughts on this here?
Well, I don't care too much, but I will say it is quite a big deal. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why it's a big deal. And hopefully it's more of hopefully it's not like a rumor more so. I hope there's some fact behind it because otherwise I think this is really bad timing to be putting this out there with Microsoft trying to close out a deal for Activision Blizzard and with the everything that's going on. I think like that just compounds the situation, makes it look even worse in Microsoft's favor because here you guys go now trying to buy a streaming service, and buying everything, right? So that's not a good look for this court case. But regardless, let's just get down to the fact of the matter. If something should exist and they do go ahead and buy Netflix, it's huge because it's massive marketing 101. In the past 10 years, pretty much anybody that's bought a TV, a tablet, or anything at all, or even most phones and stuff nowadays, what's one of the things you see on it? Netflix. Almost everybody I know has Netflix. I'm pretty sure everybody in this room has either had Netflix, has Netflix at some point in time. I don't currently, but I've had it multiple times. It's marketing, right? So what has Microsoft been trying to do? We saw how they made the deal with Samsung to get Game Pass onto TVs. So I can definitely see a major push toward a Game Pass bundle with Netflix for like say a really good price per month, and then people get to play games and movies. And again, if they're starting to break out into mobile, Microsoft will want to capture that. But again, at the end of the day, it's really all about visibility. It's all about marketing, and Netflix is almost everywhere. Like Netflix is entrenched into our into like our social way of living now. It's huge, and it's taken over the video stores, and it's not about buying Netflix and downsizing or doing anything. I think they'll kind of let that business run, pretty much a status quo, but they will obviously add Game Pass to it and perhaps different tiers of price ranges and packages for families and individuals. And again, getting that out there and having it on the box of every Samsung TV or TCLs or LGs or whatever it's out there, you're going to see that Netflix plus Game Pass, and one is going to sell the other. And vice versa. Game Pass will help sell Netflix subscriptions, and subscriptions will most definitely help sell Game Pass subscriptions. And I think that's really all there is to it.
Okay. Okay. Paul, what's your thoughts
Now
on
for
this?
the opposite take. I'm if this is real, and I really question whether it is. Why? Because this seems weird for Microsoft to be going this far out of their wheelhouse. Basically, also for a Netflix is not a service that is thriving right now. If anything, they're falling apart because of all the other streaming services. It would, it may do them good to tie with Microsoft, but what does it give Microsoft? Can Microsoft save Netflix if they buy into them? Is the question. Is there, can they start producing more material that would draw people back into the service? So I question whether it's real and whether it's financially feasible. Sure, it gets Game Pass into the Netflix viewers, but Netflix viewership has been dropping tremendously over the last couple of years because of Disney, Paramount Plus, and all the others.
Well,
They've been.
Before you go, I wanted to actually ask you when you're bringing that up. Do you think the tweet that they actually just released about the whole password sharing thing and that, do you think that they're going to even lose even more subscription or subs because of that too?
I absolutely do. Yes, if they actually go through with that, because right now they're just thinking about it. But if they actually go through with that, some people are going to go, well, if I can't share with my sister, who we've been splitting paying for it for the last however long, why am I going to keep it? Because usually when people share like that, one person uses it way more than the other. So so it'll be interesting. But yeah, I do think they're going to lose more, especially since they've been. How many price hikes did we get over the last year? Like 2 or 3. It's just like, oh my god. So, and we know they've been losing money, and they're getting their content is getting smaller and smaller because of the fact of all the different streaming services pulling their shows off of Netflix and saying you can come watch it on Peacock, you can come watch it on Paramount. So I
not
don't
just
see.
yeah,
What's
not
that?
just the shows, but their movies too. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the movies too. And
they're
that's
pulling their own films. Like Paramount's, like all their films, they're going to pull them away and put them on their own service. So yeah, it's a dwindling. It's dwindling down. What they could choose from, the pool is getting smaller. You get yeah.
Yep. Yet they're charging more for what is
Mm-hmm.
actually ostensibly a smaller service than it was even 3 years ago. So yeah, I haven't really looked into it that much because I'm very much into the wait and see type stuff. When it comes to stuff like this, you can ask Noob. I'm always like that. Wait and see. I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bite until I know more information.
That's
So.
the way that with everything going on in that, that's just the way that I'm sitting there and I'm trying to look at a lot of these deals and rumors and whatever else. And it's just like, I've heard a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I've mentioned it before about, somebody keeps sitting there and putting out that Sony Pictures is thinking about Sony is thinking about selling Sony Pictures. And it just makes no sense whatsoever after what the deal that they did with Legendary, with Netflix. I think it's they did something with Apple maybe too, but just with their movies and everything, it just, I don't know, it just didn't make any
Yeah.
sense. But
And as far as it hurting the deal that's going through right now, I think, if it does, it's only on the face because one doesn't affect the other. One has to do with gaming services. This has to do more with the entertainment industry, which again, I question why would Microsoft want to dive into the entertainment industry like this, unless they have some grand plan that none of us know anything about, because Game Pass alone will not save Netflix. It's just.
no, I get that and that.
Yeah.
Look, what's your thoughts on this?
I saw the article and can confirm that it's just a rumor.
It's just a
And
rumor.
yeah, from the article that I saw, the article is just a rumor. Quick shout out to Noof Nukem for assuming everyone here has dabbled in Netflix. Even the one African guy. Yes, we have internet, we have phones, we have tablets, we have smart TVs, and yes, we also have Netflix. Thanks. also to Cerebral's point about the dwindling content on Netflix, that's why they're doubling down on original content. They're doing their best to come up with their own stuff to keep people engaged. Here, for example, there's a lot of South African, Nigerian, and Angolan productions that are being funded by Netflix. So they're pivoting, and I wouldn't rush. Saltiest Gaming says Africa is internet breaking news, bro. You need to have a chat with Sony, because as far as Sony is concerned, only South Africa has banks and ATMs and roads. So it's important to point this out. Anyway, my point is, as far as the pivot is concerned, not Texas, dude, Mozambique. Oh my god. Anyway, I was saying, anyway, my point is,
They're so close together, you know. It's hard to you mix them up all the time.
oh my god, he's having a laugh. He's having a laugh. Anyway, I was saying, I think it's too soon to count out Netflix as like a juggernaut in whatever field they're in, and Microsoft acquiring them. I'm with Cerebral. I don't see the logic in them doing this. It's too much of a left turn. So yeah, I'm waiting to see, but I really doubt it. Actually, it's real, or that they're actually gonna do it.
Okay. Wise. What's your thoughts on this deal possibly going through?
Well, I was watching Brad Sam's video in response to this yesterday, and he said something to the effect of that in order to buy Netflix, I think they needed like $107 billion, and Microsoft, even though their market capital is vastly much more than that, they don't have that type of income on hand to buy it out. Well, not income, but cash on hand to buy it out, and that it was basically a nothing burger. It's not. There's definitely no way of it going through. But what I'm thinking, however, is that maybe, as I think so, I forgot, was it Noof or was it Praxis who said that maybe it's a decision to get their web hosting services off of AWS and onto Azure, just trying to boost up that service base or that income stream. And it's more like Microsoft getting into partnerships with Netflix versus Microsoft all out buying out Netflix. Now, the only positive is that if Microsoft did buy it out, their cost would substantially decrease, their cost of operations, because now Microsoft owns the Azure service that they're streaming off of. So that might be something that they might be looking at. But in general, I think that everyone believes that this is just a rumor. But if you want to, I guess, think about like, okay, what would happen if it goes through? I think it would, just like Paul said, I don't believe I'm agreeing with this guy, but I think it's a liability. I think for Microsoft, it just seems like a whole lot of headaches for very little gain. As everyone said, all these other companies have their own streaming service. You got Paramount, you got Peacock, you got Disney Plus, so they're all stripping away their shows from Netflix. So Netflix is now being forced to create original content, which, it's a hit or miss. A Wednesday was pretty good. Dahmer was pretty good. Some of the other ones were like hit and miss. So for the United States market, I don't know what benefit it will have for Microsoft. What I can say is that in the overseas market, Netflix is pretty strong. I know, like we have a VPN, and my wife watches Netflix, the India version, and they have all these Bollywood shows and all that stuff. So it's pretty big there. And I don't know about Africa. I guess Lo can expound upon how big Netflix is there as well. But I know outside of the United States, Netflix is pretty much the go-to streaming platform. Disney Plus and all of those other ones really don't have much. So maybe Microsoft is trying to do this to make inroads to bolster their whole, I guess, subscription service platform, maybe overseas or something. I guess, I don't know. I mean, personally speaking, I don't have official advice,
Sorry.
but you know.
Sorry,
No,
I
go
was
ahead,
just going
go
to say real quick. The other thing to realize is Microsoft does not have an entertainment division. They would really be walking into this kind of blind unless, they hire people on who know what they're doing, because this is different than gaming. There are common things, but still dealing with the whole, production side of things for movies and TV shows and all that is a different animal,
And let's call a spade a spade. They're not that successful with gaming right now. I mean, yeah, they got games coming out, but they've not shown that they can come into the gaming medium and produce like the bangers or have the success that Sony does yet. So for them to jump, well, I'm sorry.
Can you just mute his mic now? Because now he's just talking out his ass.
I actually want to interrupt him. Because this comes from Clowns. He says, "Don't call Paul celebrity pineapple."
Oh, Jesus Christ!
He loves pineapples, especially on his pizza.
No, he does not.
On pizza.
I like Hawaiian pizza. I like pineapple on pizza.
Okay, bye everybody. I gotta go.
No wonder he's pissed off all the time. He eats pineapples on his pizza. No wonder he's pissed off all the time.
Charlie.
Yeah. God. Nasty.
Oh God.
No, but I mean, all jokes aside, go ahead.
Go ahead, Wise. Finish up.
No, I just said maybe that's what they want to do. Maybe they're just trying to make inroads into another country. But before they enter the movie streaming media platform, they need to bolster up their gaming platform first. So yeah,
I could see the whole making a deal for Azure users to be used, servers to be used. That I could see, because we know they have server banks in Africa and other places in the world already that are in place for them spreading their wings. So that part I could see. And plus they may offer a better deal than AWS does. Who knows? Even without fully buying them out, they could be making deals to just have everything moved over to the two Microsoft servers. So we'll see.
Triple, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I would say, how can I put it? It kind of makes perfect sense when you look at the Gears of War deal that they're okay. No, I'm just joking. It really doesn't make sense. I agree with you guys.
Wow.
But leading off of the Gears of War thing, I mean, like, the only time it would make sense, and not saying that is the reason why, but if they wanted to try to replicate what Sony's doing with their IPs of video games to try and branch them into other medias, but as you guys said, there's just so much more things that you'll have to start to consider and worry about if you bring on Netflix and try to get into that form of media. So I really just don't see why you would pick them up, especially with, like, again, the expenses that you have to deal with, just a lot of different things you have to get into with. And Netflix isn't really, I know that they have like a gaming thing going on right now, but that's not really like hitting huge numbers or anything like that. So yeah, like I said, if we really want to say what could it be, is like if you really wanted someone to help you adapt your own IPs into something else. But even then, I'm just like, Netflix on its own is still struggling, as you guys said. It's not exactly growing as well as people want. I've heard topics of them losing money in various areas. So it's just like, why would you want to buy Netflix if you already see that they're struggling on their own? Now you're going to bring on the struggles yourself, and you're still trying to, as you said, Wise, grow your video game market. So why would you want to bring on more issues to worry about? So I don't know. Basically, you guys said it all, and I'm agreeing with it. It doesn't really make sense, and it's just out of left field, honestly.
Thank you, Inverted Triforce.
Jim, what's your thoughts? Eddie? Jim?
I think he's gone.
Hello, Jim?
We put Jim to sleep.
There he is. No, he's there.
No, I'm still here. As far as I'm concerned, it's just all still rumors until something official comes along. Because as far as I know, Microsoft hasn't said anything yet. Then we think we might be doing it.
Well, with all this, the Netflix and the Microsoft and that, let me throw Amazon and Amazon helping Tomb Raider. I guess it's financing and helping, produce that. And does anybody think that that's going to be an exclusive to the Amazon platform, or is that going to be something where it's going to be everywhere?
Oh God,
Darth,
hopefully fucking not. Sorry.
Darth, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm that one I haven't heard too much about, but I mean, Amazon's getting involved in co-funding it, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're involved with funding, I would think they would want to sign some kind of like temporary exclusivity thing or something to keep it on their platform. Other than platforms that basically make money by sharing it, like Voodoo or something where you actually pay for it. So not something where you could stream it without pay. But yeah, generally, I don't know. I'd have to look into it a little bit more.
Okay, and I'm very guilty on this. I just recently started playing. I played about 2 hours of the remake, and I was totally blown away. I thought it was actually that 2 hours impressed me more than what Uncharted did for me. And the reason why that was it had more of a serious tone to it. Just to me, it was a little bit more brutal. But I didn't. That's only 2 hours. I didn't go through the whole thing, but I'm more excited to play that than anything right now. So I'll get on it. But Loke, you actually wanted to say something about this?
I just want to know which one of the Tomb Raiders are you playing? Is it Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow?
The very
Which
first one. Is that Rise?
Yeah. that
No,
should be right.
it was just Tomb Raider.
Or is it?
I
I think
I thought it was just Tomb Raider.
Could be, I could
Yeah,
be wrong.
Tomb Raider. Then it's Rise, or no? Then it's Shadow.
Yeah, no,
and then
that's it. It's Rise.
No,
and
Shadow's
it's
the last one.
Shadow. Yeah, so it
Okay.
could
Shadow's
just
the
be
last
the
one.
Tomb Raider.
But yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I'm like, damn, man, this is really, really good. But then, and I'll wait till later on. But you guys, everybody here is probably going to give me a ton of shit, which I don't care, and I have my reasons. But there's been a couple games I was like, wow, what the hell am I waiting for? Why didn't I ever play this? Noof, what is your thoughts on the Tomb Raider? Do you think this could be an exclusivity deal? How with Amazon and their money, they're right up there with Microsoft and Google and that. How much of a good game could this be? Do you think it could, exceed what the other three are? I don't even know if you even enjoyed them, but do you think this is a good thing for the company Crystal Dynamics and helping them out?
Well, interesting you bring that up because Tomb Raider, as a matter of fact, Rise of the Tomb Raider is my favorite game of the Xbox generation. So I love those games. I think they're amazing. I loved all three of them. It's a little bit of a shocker of a deal. I don't know what happened between Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics that soured their relationship. Obviously, they had 3 solid games, and to my knowledge, I think all 3 had relatively decent sales.
They didn't
But
meet sales expectations.
well,
So they didn't meet, weren't they going on about sales expectations or something for one of their franchises?
they
So-
look, we get that all the time where they sell good, but apparently they still don't hit sales expectations. I don't know what they expected. But at the end of the day, 3 amazing games. Amazon's got them now, and I don't think there is going to be an exclusivity, but who knows? We would not be surprised to see Sony now tossing boatloads of cash at Amazon games to get at least some kind of content DLC. Again, it wouldn't make much sense for them to just solely have it on one platform because that's a way to constrict the franchise and not expand it, and too much money left on the table. So either which way, I think all the consoles will get barring Nintendo, I don't know what happens with those guys, but I mean, Amazon's going to put this game out just about everywhere. They're going to market the shit out of it. And I'm confident in Crystal Dynamics that they're going to make another phenomenal Tomb Raider game. I'm just interested to see where it goes. I think it's good. It doesn't really bother me that Square Enix is backed out because obviously Square Enix has totally disrespected the developer, and I think it's been made pretty clear. And I think these guys do need to part ways and find a better partner. I'm just actually kind of sad and shocked that it wasn't Microsoft jumping in to pony up and bring these guys into the fold. But obviously, with everything that's happening right now, that's totally understandable. And we know that guys from their studio have been over helping the initiative and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm quite interested to see where it goes. I think it's a pretty good acquisition overall, and like I said, I'm very confident Crystal Dynamics is going to bring out a fantastic new game.
So
Noof.
real quick,
Look, did you just say you wanted Microsoft to pony up?
I think I did say that, didn't I?
yeah,
Well, that is pretty much the pony up thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Poor choice of words, my
Oh
friend.
man, the wordplay, man, the wordplay.
So-
You know, I've
Someone
actually
said
caught
what it is.
myself almost typing that in tweets a couple of times. I was like, no, I can't say
man.
that. I can't put it
Delete,
that way.
delete. Yep, start over.
quick correction. What was it? Embracer Group acquired Square, not Square, but Crystal Dynamics, and it's Amazon who's doing the publishing deal, not acquiring Crystal Dynamics and the Tomb Raider IP.
And Embracer, they also purchased Eidos.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Eidos Montreal, who did Guardians of the Galaxy.
And didn't they do Hitman, the Hitman trilogy, or is that somebody else?
I think they
Think
did.
I think they
I wanna
did.
say they
Actually.
did.
Yeah,
I wanna say
think
they did.
Okay.
Also, Bezos is not also Bezos is not an idiot. Okay, he's a
Bezos.
businessman first and foremost. Bezos, whatever you want to say.
Bezos.
I'm Southern. Okay, leave me alone. Bezos, it's down. Bezos down here. Okay, all right. But that being said, he's a businessman. I honestly feel Luna's there just to say, hey, we do gaming as well, just like Apple has Apple Arcade there. Yeah, we got games too. Nobody really takes it seriously, right? So if they're publishing this game, I think that it would be a massive mistake financially for Amazon just to make it exclusive to the Luna platform. So I really believe
Nobody will
that
play it. Nobody will-
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry,
You gotta be
Um,
looking at Stadia and see how they feel, and you just be like, "Oh, we'll do the same." I'm like, okay."
Well, I mean, like if we want, we back in the day, the reason Tomb Raider was so successful was that was like the first big breasted girl that we actually saw with big 3D breasts. Now we got plenty of options. That being said, I mean, it is not my point being is the game is good, but it is not a console seller or platform seller. That hopefully Bezos realizes that, and I think he does. So I think it's going to be a multi-platform release. It's going to be on all consoles and stuff like that too. So.
Let me get Luke back in here. Wait a minute, where the hell did he go?
ran away.
Yo.
What's your thoughts on Amazon helping out Crystal Dynamics with Tomb Raider?
I think it's they have the money to do it, and even if it's just publishing rights, that'll get their name out there, like in the way of gaming, I should say. Everybody knows who Amazon is, but I think it will be multi-plat. I think they aren't. Why leave money on the table? That's just stupid. Now where they choose to go will be interesting. Is they just going to be PC? Are they going to put one of the consoles, two of the consoles, all the consoles? Who knows? I know at one point I bought one of the best video cards I ever bought many years ago came with one of the Tomb Raiders. So
Hey, Paul, would you be able to bring your mic up? It kind of sounds like you're like fading
no,
away.
my mic gives me trouble when I use Restream for this kind of
back
stuff.
to us,
It
Paul.
bites me. Shut up. So yeah. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, I got a long time ago, almost 20 years ago, I got one of the Tomb Raiders came free with my video card. So they have used it to advertise stuff before. Now, like I said, I pretty much guarantee Amazon will have it go to PC. Now, where they go beyond that, I don't know, but they will. It won't just be for Luna, because I'm serious. 3 people would play it. And that's not good for the game. So
4
4
people would play it.
Oh, 4.
Well,
So it'll be interesting. But I do think they'll go multi-plat. I don't think they're going to do any of that timed exclusive stuff unless somebody ponies up to do that, which is not unheard of. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, we know who you're thinking about. Yeah, but I don't. But like Y said, I don't think it's enough of a system seller or anything like that to be warrant being somebody we're gonna make Tomb Raider exclusive. Why? You know, I don't see a bunch of people get heartbroken over Tomb Raider being exclusive. You know, so I think it's just they're probably gonna dump it on all the systems. You know, so my take.
Okay. Let me sorry, Paul. I'm reading what's going on in the chat and what's going on in the private chat. I just spelled disappear wrong. Apologize for that, guys. I'm pretty good at spelling. Sorry. Okay. Triple, what is your thoughts on this?
Well, firstly, when it comes to the newest or the last Tomb Raider trilogy that we had, the first one was all right. The second and the third one, as they went on, I was just less impressed. Now, granted, I am a bit of a Uncharted fanboy, so there's probably that. So my excitement to hear that we have another Tomb Raider coming isn't exactly there in terms of who they're partnering up with. I mean, I don't think it'll be exclusive. Like, that wouldn't make any sense for it to be exclusive to Luna, considering, again, referencing Stadia and how cloud gaming is still pretty new, and locking your game to one location such as Luna wouldn't really make too much sense. I guess the only confusion as well is Embracer acquiring them, but they're still going out with different partnerships. And I think I'm trying to find the quote as to what was said. Where is it real quick? Because they were going on about some unique. So it says Crystal Dynamics has an extraordinary opportunity following our acquisition by Embracer to redefine what a publishing relationship is for Tomb Raider. So it's curious as to what they mean by that, but PR mumble jumble. But overall, I mean, great that there's a new Tomb Raider. I really don't care who's publishing it as long as the final product is good, especially since Crystal Dynamics is still creating it. So only time will tell, really.
Okay. Was actually with Salty, wasn't there a report that they are rebooting the franchise, the Tomb Raider franchise?
I'd imagine this is
that
it.
article?
I mean, I'd imagine this is it. This is the only new Tomb Raider news that we have, or official conversation. Now, whether or not it's a sequel or a reboot of the franchise again is the question. But considering the first or the previous trilogy that we had were kind of like her, I guess, origin story, if someone can comment on that one. The first one was, I don't know if the second and the third was still like a continuous origin story to catch up with the current title. So I'm not understanding it there, but you could continue from the trilogy, or you could just make another one. Give her two pistols this time.
That was my main gripe. That was my main gripe with the trilogy. It felt like all three games were her origin. So it was like, at what point does she become the legendary Lara Croft? So yeah, if they do a reboot, I hope that they stop with the origin thing.
Real quick, what is going on the screen? Is it Pong, and this is going back and forth with no D?
Yes.
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 Here's the thing.
It's single player, or it's two player, actually, looks like.
But see, here I go and I pop on Pong, and I'm like, oh, all right. You know what? I haven't played this for probably about 35, maybe 38 years. Let me try this. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, let me play against the computer. This is how the computer plays.
What the fuck?
If you move, it moves, right?
Instead of swearing like you will always lose because they just won't move.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck's going on here?
I'm sorry, but yeah, going back to the Tomb Raider thing. As you said, Loke, the trilogy was like an origin story all the way through. So maybe if they continue it, this will be the legendary Lara Croft fighting dinosaurs and crazy stuff with the new out. But we'll see.
As long as I can get a new code, I'm good.
What? Wise? Why don't you tell us your thoughts on the Amazon Tomb Raider deal?
Well, I told you, I said earlier that I don't think that Bezos is going to be such an idiot to make it an exclusive to the Luna platform. Nobody's going to buy it. Tomb Raider doesn't have the pull like it used to. and even back in the day, it had sort of a tenuous pull to begin with. The games are good. The games are all three games are solid games. Now, of course, Square Enix complaining, "Oh, we didn't sell enough copies." Well, fuck Square Enix. I hate fucking Square Enix. But I think the games are good, but they just don't have the pull like it. I don't think it ever had that type of pull where it was a console seller. So hopefully Bezos realizes that and makes it a multi-platform release. And yeah, generally speaking, I'm excited. I'm happy that the development house has full funding, or as much funding as I guess they signed up for. And I'm hoping for a pretty good game. I hope they do, as you said, go off kilter a little bit. I mean, the past 3 Tomb Raiders were, while they were good, they were still kind of grounded. I sort of do miss, like as you were saying earlier, like her fighting a Tyrannosaurus Rex and all of these other weird things. So I'm looking forward to maybe going back to the old form, And yeah, if they throw in a nude code, I'll definitely be there day one. So
yeah, he just wants the third person behind the butt camera view. He doesn't care about the rest of it.
Hey, you know what? Can anyone blame me? Come on now. If you can get if you can get ass for $70, hey, that's not bad. As much as you want for $70.
And if they can increase her bra size, that would be welcome.
Hey, that'd
be an editor I'd like.
Yeah, better calm down. Neither Sarkeesian is gonna pop up in the comment section talking about it.
Bro, Anita Sarkeesian can go ahead and criticize Street Fighter 6 or 7. Which Street Fighter are we on now? I don't know.
6. No, but like, okay, yeah. Am I saying something that nobody agrees with? Does anyone here believe that Tomb Raider is a console or a platform seller? Do you think that
Microsoft thought it was at the start of the generation? That's about it.
No, it's not quite there. I mean, even Uncharted is not necessarily a PlayStation seller either. Like it doesn't hold the same weight as even God of War does right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're popular games, but again, it's like we all know like it's just the hardcore gamers that get wrapped up with Tomb Raiders and Uncharted. It's like most of the dipshits, they're all just about the free to play shit.
Yeah, whenever anybody talks about Sony and system sellers, Uncharted doesn't tend to come out of that conversation.
Call of Duty, Fortnite, Minecraft. That's the same shit that fucking sells all the systems. It's true.
And I'll go as far as to say is this. I think Tomb Raider, for those who actually like it, it's as much nostalgia as it is anything else. We remember that first Tomb Raider games because we were probably pubescent or prepubescent boys, and we saw this 3D polygonal stacked woman.
I was a grown ass man.
Okay, so you were
I was definitely in the adulthood. Yeah, I was definitely.
Okay, it doesn't matter what age you were when you started masturbating. The fact is, you just started masturbating. Okay, so it's like that was like your first digital vixen, and like I think that
digital
has a lot
waifu.
To do with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and if we're coming up with this, then come on now. They got so many bean counters at Amazon. They know about this. They know the optics of Tomb Raider, and they know that.
I think you maybe give them a little more credit than they deserve.
Let me see here. Jim, what is your thoughts on this? And then we'll go to Loke, and then we'll get into the other 2 topics and that stuff. But Jim, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, as far as like the whole Amazon deal, I mean, like kind of in agreement. Bezos would be kind of stupid to lock it away to just one platform, but Bezos be Bezos. Aside from that, I'm just keeping an eye on it.
Okay, Luke, what's your thoughts on this?
I'm actually with Jim, but I don't think it's Bezos be Bezos. I think billionaires be billionaires. These guys have made.
I mean,
so
that would
much
work
money.
too.
Sorry,
they've not made Alexa exclusive. Why would they make Laura exclusive?
I said that would work too.
Yeah. So these guys made billions off of going grain. So it wouldn't shock me if a whole bunch of analysts told them, "Don't do it," and then he was like, "Fuck it, do it." All I have to say on this. And as far as the trilogy, like I said, increase the boob size, and Just keep it the same, man. Add some dinosaurs. Make her the legendary Tomb Raider. Don't make her this chick that Doom. I'm sorry. I'm gonna give you 1 or 2 spoilers. Don't make her the chick that almost gets raped. Make her fucking Indiana Jones on steroids, but sexy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Make,
what I
yeah,
want.
She
make
needs
her a
bigger
badass.
lobbyists so she can hang on to them when she parachutes
Now,
down.
okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go to the entire panel here, but I'm actually going to shoot this towards Noof and Local in this. I have another channel with a good friend of mine. Okay, he went and bought the Tomb Raider legendary statue. It was I think it's the second video that we did, and there's a scene in there. It's an actual picture. He told me it's in the game, but it's her. She's coming out of water, but it actually looks like a river of blood. And
I think
it
that was
is-
the third game when there's like fire behind her or something.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
there's fire behind her. So that's in the third game then.
Mhm.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, what the hell is this? This is not because when my cousin played the first Tomb Raider, I saw that a couple other people I've seen, play the original Lara Croft one, and I'm like, I don't know if that's something I'm going to be interested in. But then I'm seeing, pictures of the newer one, and that's why I was saying to everybody here, it just to me it just has a more brutal side to it than what Uncharted is. And I love the Uncharted series. I just think that something like this is I'm just going to connect with it a lot more than what with the two or the Uncharted series is. Nothing against the Uncharted, like I said, I love it, but I can't wait to
Imagine.
jump into this. That's why I'm like I want to get all this shit done so I can start actually playing
I'm
it.
about to lead a podcast. You disrespecting Uncharted, man. You disrespecting Chloe Fraser. And,
Whatever. It's my opinion. If nobody likes it, fuck
Yeah,
off.
I'm playing.
Shut
I'm
the fuck
joking.
up
I'm
and
joking.
Go away.
Doom, it sounds
I
like
do
you just
have a
need to play
question.
more games, bro. Jesus.
Yes, you are exactly right, Darth. You are 100%. But I gotta get these videos. all done.
You're only 9 years
Yeah,
behind.
thank
It's okay. You'll catch up.
Yes, I'm hoping to next week when I have a couple extra days of vacation, I can spend the whole day.
I'm gonna
I
catch
hope
up 9 years in 1 day or a couple of
yeah,
days.
basically, because my buddy's probably sitting there going, "Dude, what the hell's taking you so long? You got these done within a week, and it's been 5 weeks, and you still can't get one done." It's like, shit,
Atari games are just great for compression.
I just did the one thing it is, and I'm not going to harp on or whatever. It's just I'm learning as I'm going with this, and it's like I just want these damn things to be as perfect as they can. And I just sit there. I'm doing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Return to New York. Thank you, my wife, for that. If anybody heard that gigantic burp, but
Did she smack you on the head too?
That's
Because she
sexy.
needs to do that right now.
I want to sit there and I want to make a Christmas song out of all her burps and farts. It would be amazing. It would literally be.
I love you, babe. Guess what I released online?
She
Are
said
you
she's
selling
sitting
this?
there
Are
saying
you
I would
selling this on
actually
only?
make money.
Are you going to sell it on OnlyFans or not?
If we
That's what
make
I wanna
money,
know.
fuck it.
Oh
Do
my
it.
god.
Good.
Are you gonna
if a
sell it
girl's
on OnlyFans or
bathwater can
not?
stall, you never know what a fart and a burp could do.
Yo, you
Hey,
should hear the ones in the morning.
I'll buy it. Where do I swipe my credit card?
Why
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would
dude,
buy it?
dude,
wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
we
You
know where the
would
bar
buy
is
it.
set for you, motherfucker.
If I swear to God, in the morning, it sounds like she has a duck in a chokehold with between her legs. I mean, it's like yes, exactly.
Hey,
That's
look.
it's
I
this is
just
3:30 in the morning. I'm like, I gotta actually another 45
Hey,
minutes.
Babe, I gotta like work, you know. I mean, shit.
Doom, Wise was willing to pay $50. You
Oh,
keep describing it.
You know,
No,
wait a
he
minute.
will
Like,
pay
I
100.
just
He will pay 100.
masturbated. I
So
just
does your
masturbated.
wife
Well,
Dutch
there,
oven
new
you?
channel and call
So,
it Poop
so
Slayer.
I want to
Is
know,
there
does
an-
your wife Dutch oven you? Is what I want to know. Yeah,
Is there an
Dutch
Only
oven you?
Farts channel? Because I need that.
No, but I can definitely get one going here and that. Okay, so I got
You
I
cannot.
totally
No.
got
You
off topic
cannot.
here and everything.
You cannot bring up this crap. I just masturbated
Jesus.
10 minutes before the show.
We went from
okay?
I farted
more
to
for
she
the Sunday
farted.
show,
How did that go?
I gotta save this for the
Yeah.
Sunday show.
And that means I
Why,
can't
you make sure
recover
you
for
wipe.
another 30,
God
40 minutes.
damn it.
Okay, come on now.
I
You
gotta
can't do
Just
listen.
that.
make sure
I gotta
you
have the
wipe,
whole gaming after dark show on the Sunday show, so they can just basically unleash everything that they need to do. It's like
Wow.
get
I
us all
don't
together and have.
know.
You don't know what
oh
you're
my
asking
God.
for. You don't know what you're asking for if you ask for that. Wow.
Oh, believe me,
Well,
you don't
at
know what
least-
you're
at
asking
lea-
for. The
well,
reason why
at
it's called the
least-
Order of Disorder is because it never works right. There is so much shit that goes on. It's sad. Jay even sat there. He
what
even
makes
put
it
in the
perfect.
comments. He's like, "Hey," he says, "Why is there none of my graphics and that stuff up there that I made for it?" It's like I couldn't get them up there quick enough because somebody was late, and I'm trying to rearrange things, and it just did not work. I was like, "Screw it. This is the way it is. We got to go for it right now." So, but
Well, at
okay.
least her farts are making noises. My wife's are silent but deadly. So I don't know anything about it until I smell it. And then, oh my God, what the fuck she just ate? God only knows. So
Oh, mine likes giving me the Dutch oven in return. It's like,
That's
whoa,
what I was.
no.
Yeah.
Turn
Now,
over in
now,
bed.
now,
and-
she's
I was
like,
going to
"We're
mention
going
there
to
is
bed."
there is that Canadian show where they did a whole episode on a thing called Fart Book, where they catalog different farts for the instead of Facebook. Yeah. So yeah, there is a market for it. There's some,
Oh my God.
I mean, I'll
It's
be
just-
buying, but All right, here's
Oh
the
yeah,
question.
All right.
about those video games, huh?
that's
Yeah,
right.
let's
No,
redirect back to the games for Christ's
Yeah,
sake. What are we
let's
doing
get
here?
on. So
I do
what
have
I'm
a
going to do
question,
is,
Uh-oh.
what's your question? What's your question?
No, it's a serious
Ian,
question.
I love it,
Aside,
dude. You sound just like me, dude. When I'm talking to him. What do you want now? What the fuck?
No, seriously, like how many?
What?
Okay, so we're wondering why Microsoft didn't pony up to buy, Crystal Dynamics and stuff. What if it was this? What if since Sony already has Uncharted, Microsoft has this apparently this Indiana Jones game coming out eventually from Bethesda. What if Crystal Dynamics did approach Microsoft and they said, no, we got something in that genre and we don't need this genre anymore. And that's why, because they didn't have anyone else, they sort of went to Amazon.
Nah,
No,
that's a
because
good
they
one.
were in the midst of this. They were in the midst of this. They were in the midst of this ABK thing. They were like they know they can't be jumping on more studios right now.
I like everybody's like, yeah, you're fucking smoking crack. Shut up. Anyway, next, moving on.
That was a wise
Every
point.
group-
That was a smart
every
point.
group
That was an
needs a
intellectual point.
smoker.
That
It
was an
was,
intellectual
and I'm
point.
proud of you. I'm proud of you. Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do is
I
I'm
want
going
a
to go right down
participation
the
trophy,
line
damn it.
here,
Uh-oh.
starting with
Right
Luke
down.
first.
it.
In 10 minutes, tell us your game awards, your best game that you played this year. If you played RPGs, JRPGs, any kind of racing game, Football Manager, is that the best sports game that you played? In 10 minutes, everybody will have a good 10 minutes to speak their minds and get it all out there. Luke, what are your game awards?
I don't need 10 minutes. Game of the year is Sifu
Okay.
because it did the one thing that I think every game of the year should do. It stuck in my mind, and it's going to be in my mind for years to come. It gave me the dream that I've always had when I was a kid playing with my brothers and my cousins. I always wanted to be Jet Li or Bruce Lee or all the other Lees, and so
Chun-Li.
it was a perfect game for me.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah, the gameplay, I felt like I was a proper kung fu master. So yeah, best game of the year for me is Sifu. Best indie, Vampire Survivors. I don't think I need to qualify why. Best fighter, Tekken 7. It didn't come out this year, but ever since Tekken 7 came out, there hasn't been a better fighter every single year. So until Tekken 8 comes out, Tekken 7 is the best fighter. Best racing game, Need for Speed Unbound. It's not the best Need for Speed of all time, but it's the best Need for Speed since 2006. So, yeah. Then you said say something good or something good and something bad.
That's going to be right after the awards. I want to go through that. Yes. But I'm going to give everybody 10 minutes on that one too to go through everything that they want to.
All right. So
say
those
about
are my
that.
awards. Those are my awards.
Okay. Triple. Go ahead.
I'll keep it simple. Game of the year definitely goes to Elden Ring for me. Was it with Dark Souls 3? I was kind of getting burnt out on Dark Souls, even though I'm a huge Souls fan. And once Elden Ring hit, being open world and being able to just go anywhere you want for the most part until you get to one of the locations and just get absolutely stomped. So you kind of walk it back and explore somewhere else. It was definitely a breath of fresh air. And yeah, no, easily my game of the year, even after playing God of War. And it's a phenomenal game as well. But it was just something about Elden Ring when I first played it, and just again exploring and finding locations, creating builds, reading about the lore. Although people are going back and forth about the narrative, so yeah, I keep it simple. My game of the year is Elden Ring. Definitely best game ever. That's about it.
Sorry, real quick, Triple. Can
Yeah.
can you hold my hand in Elden Ring? Because
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm stuck. I haven't finished. I haven't beaten the guy, the blood dude. What's his
The
name?
blood dude. You talk about the
Wow.
priest guy, Blood Bow or something like that. One of the brothers. He's like brother of the first boss you fight.
Isn't his name Monthly Mayhem?
No. I think it's Morgoth or something. Something with an M.
Are you
That's
like
close.
underground or
Start with
something?
M.
If you're
What?
underground at a temple where you find like Melania's brother arm just sticking out of an egg, I know who you're talking about.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
It's him. It's
Okay, yeah, I
that
can
dude.
definitely help you out. Oh, and real quick special shout out to Destiny the Witch Queen. We found I won't say finally, Destiny's had expansions and campaigns before, but Witch Queen felt like a proper campaign that I genuinely enjoyed as I was playing through it. So quick shout out to Witch Queen. Although the rest of the seasons, they're all right, except for the current one. So yeah. So I guess best FPS would be Destiny this year. There you go.
And that's going to do it for you.
Yeah. I mean, indie. There's a lot of games I'm still playing through right now, so couldn't really say too much on indies. Aside from Plague's Tale, which is indie but double A indie. Like I said, God of War is good, but when I give it to Game of the Year, it's Elden Ring. And I think I really only played like 6 brand new games this year. I had a list here because I spend way too much time playing Destiny. Wait, oh yeah, and
Speak for
scoring.
yourself, buddy.
I guess shout out to Scoring for, well, I guess it's a horror game, puzzle game, or something. I will give you the award of the most grotesque atmosphere that made me feel something like, oh my gosh, I don't want to play no more. But as I beat the game and I stepped back from the controller, I was like, well, that was something, not a good something after a while, because it really, the final section started to pad out a little bit. If you guys haven't played it, the final section definitely did pad out, but going from the Elden Ring Dark Souls approach, it is that storytelling where it's the environment telling the story versus a narrative giving you the spiel. But even in the way they approach the environmental storytelling, it wasn't, unless I'm just really blind and stupid, but their approach at narrative storytelling wasn't as well as I would like it to be until literally the end of the game where they put it on a picture on a wall exactly what happened here to an extent. So, and I haven't finished Callisto, so I can't really say much about that. And like I said, Plague Tale, and I haven't finished that. So that's about it. I guess last thing real quick, small game that I did pick up this year and really start to enjoy a lot was a Slay the Spire roguelike card game, which I got addicted to that real quick. But that I can forget when it came out, so it's not this year's release. But in terms of games I played and really enjoyed this year, I definitely put Slay the Spire on that list. Just once you get a proper build set up and the combinations flowing properly, you're just like decimating enemies in a few turns. It's so good. I guess it's similar to what people feel with Vampire Survivors when you really get things going properly. So, yeah.
Okay. Paul, what
Yo.
are some of your
I-
awards in that?
I can, a lot of those games like Elden Ring, I tried it for over 30 hours, couldn't play it. Vampire Survivor can't play it. Not because, and don't get me wrong when I say that. For those that don't know me, I actually do have cerebral palsy, so my hands don't work as well as other people's. So games like that are beyond me, beyond my ability, though I do try. So those games are out for me as far because I wasn't able to get very far in either one of them. But I enjoy things like I thought Ask Does Falls was amazing. I love story-driven games. I absolutely adore story-driven games that are well done. So As Dusk Falls would be of the choice we had. That would have been my game of the year, for the actual official list. But I also enjoyed the Skywalker Saga for Lego. I thought that game was amazing. It's too bad that's the last Lego game that company is putting out because they pulled out all the stops for that one. Let's see, what else did I really enjoy this year? Guardians of the Galaxy, amazing game. I thought, that was the first game I finished in 2022. After about 2 weeks of play, and now I'm enjoying. I just finished High on Life, and I know it's not to me it's this year because it's still 2022. I just finished that one. Great fun game, very fun game. Racers. I'm a big Forza fan because Forza has high accessibility stuff. So, and the new Ragnarok also has a great accessibility. I'm not that far into the game, but I'm enjoying it. So yeah, I'm an all around game guy. I like to play anything I get my hands on. So.
Hey, Paul, just to let you know, I got it was the Game of the Year edition or something like that of the Hot Wheels today. I got it for $18 and it was like
Nice.
a $90 game. And I think it has like 20 pieces of DLC. I'm like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
Nuts.
I've seen it on, my roommate has PlayStation. Oh, you mean for the Forza add-on? I have that one. Yeah. It's wild. It looks beautiful. Oh, and I was going to mention, somebody mentioned Plague Tale. I also really, really enjoy Plague Tale Requiem. And just the graphics in that game are jaw-dropping. So yeah, a lot of the games that I would consider top-notch were already mentioned. But yeah, a lot of the games that actually won, like I said, were simply because of lack of accessibility or playability for somebody like me is the only reason they don't top my list.
Okay, Noof, what's your list?
I'll keep it simple for you. Pretty much. Game of the year, God of War, Ragnarok. It did everything the 2018 version did, but only better. It's an incredible game. Looks good, plays good. It's just another epic adventure. So yeah, it's definitely God of War Ragnarok. Best indie game definitely goes Astray. I love cats and a game about a cat, which is set in a sci-fi world. It's an indie game that has AAA value in production. Gotta love it. Played good. Loved the game. Didn't extend its welcome. Like it was. You can beat it in several hours. You can speedrun it, I think, in less than 2. But it's a really good game. That was also a big surprise for me this year. Not only was it my indie game, but very big surprise because it turned out a lot better than I expected. Yeah, I mean that's kind of it in a nutshell. My most played game obviously goes to Mass Effect, the trilogy. The Legendary Edition. I mean, obviously that came out last year, but I spent the better part of this year playing through the last couple of games, and absolutely had a dynamite time with that. Well done. And that's, like I said, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Real quick, what is this on the screen? What is this? What game is this?
Say that again, Paul.
What game is playing on the screen behind us right now?
Oh, Doom.
Oh, okay.
Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah. Another game that I really want to be able to play, but I can't. So yeah, okay. It looks great.
It's definitely good. It's definitely good. That's another game to finish this year, and holy crap,
Yeah, and it looks freaking good too. It really looks good. Wise, how about your bunch of games that you want to give awards to?
Okay, best game to take a crap to is Vampire Survivors because it's on mobile and it's on all other platforms. So hey, if you have to take a turd instead of sitting there reading a book, playing Vampire Survivors helps out. Best game to get drunk to me would be Elden Ring, because every time I get killed, I take a shot, and that's nothing gets you hammered quicker, basically.
I would
So,
die. I would die. Okay, that's
Paul is dead from alcohol poisoning.
Well, my liver told me that it was fully healed up. I just wanted to make sure that it was true to its word. So yeah, I tested it out. Best game to play while drunk is from not Dusk Dawn. What was that game called? Paul, your favorite game, As Dusk Falls. Because while you're drunk, you just try to see how much. Like when I'm totally wasted and I play that game, I just want to see how far I can fuck things up. It's just really cool just to go back and look at all the different branching paths and everything like that. Best game to play while high. I got two of those. One is High on Life, because so sort of goes with the territory, right? Talking guns and everything. And hey, if you're totally struck up on weed or whatever, it's an unreal experience. But another game to play while high is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Well, Scarlet is the one I play, because with all those little glitches going on, you get an otherworldly experience, especially if you're high as fuck. Best lose a high to is God of War, because okay, so as a father of two teenage boys, playing that game just elicits a whole lot of emotions, and nothing brings a buzz down faster than me playing that game. And my game of the year actually goes to Horizon Forbidden West, and for two reasons. Number one, because they keep getting shafted. So like, I know it doesn't mean much to them to get a game of the year from me, but at least they got some game of the year from somebody, right? So that's one. And another, the main reason I gave Forbidden West a little bit of an edge, if you will, over God of War, I really enjoyed like just being able it was a little bit more freeform to me than God of War was. Like you could be sitting in one area and like talking to people and playing a chess type game, and then go to another area and fly there and do all sorts of whatnot. It's just a total freedom that I had, or that I experienced in Forbidden West, that I just never had with God of War. I mean, some nights I would be playing Forbidden West, and all I would be doing was going around and killing off the Tyrannosaurus Rex ones and those big sea turtle ones, and just the gameplay loop of bringing those suckers down was just in and of itself just fulfilling to me. So that's why I give it an edge to me over God of War, and that's my list. So
that was a very interesting list, especially the
Thank you for the categories.
awards themselves. Yeah, the categories in that. Thank you, Darth.
Spectacular.
Yeah, that was good, Darth.
See, I could be a nice guy.
What are your say that again? Why?
He said he could be nice.
Best game to have sex to? You didn't say
I'm
that
being
one.
Nice. I did not expect any
Well,
of
if
that.
you're
I thought
doing
you
it
were
right.
gonna go the traditional route, but you went a different way, and we're all about being different here. That's good.
I want the participation trophy. That's all I got to say.
Freak. I'm sorry. One of them
That is-
things.
It's probably
It's
the
like an
only
outburst.
trophy
I
he's ever
apologize.
gotten in his life is the participation trophy.
God damn it! I want something for my shell.
Even his wife goes, "Here, fine. Yeah, you were there. That's about it."
Yeah, you've been there.
The fact that she doesn't give me a participation trophy is questionable, but okay, keep going.
Hey, Wise.
The fact that she remembers is admirable, though.
Hold on. Wise, you already have your participation trophies. They're going to be with you till you're about 18.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Darth, why don't you tell everybody what your winners, your game award winners are?
I would
for your
say
categories.
I don't know about that. I'll try to keep it pretty short too, because it's just my perspective. I thought Elden Ring was an excellent game. It was difficult for me. Even it didn't hit me. It's kind of like Noof. I felt similar to him. I like the game, but I think I liked it more than he did. But it's not just the struggle. It was a struggle to really enjoy it, I think, is my biggest problem. So it hits people certain
Which
ways.
game? I never played Elden Ring.
Elden Ring? Oh, you never played Elden Ring? Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah, Elden
refuse to
Ring.
play it. I'd
See-
be no good at it.
You'd be no good. See, and I am good at Monster Hunter. I put a shit ton of hours in
Respect
Monster
that.
Hunter,
I'm
and
picking up
so
Rise.
and because of that, I have. Well, I put like 12 or 1400 hours in Monster Hunter World. So I've put tons of time in that game. And then when you consider that, and I went into Elden Ring with a bunch of friends that were into Monster Hunter World, it just didn't hit me the same way. They were like, "Isn't it amazing?" I was like, "Yeah, no, not really." It's
Look,
just,
all you gotta do is be a spellcaster, sit back and toss spells at people.
yeah,
Easy.
yeah. I was a tank, and I was a healer, so it was a different world there. But as far as in Monster Hunter, but anyway, but as far I thought it was an excellent game. I saw the polish, I saw everything to it, and I saw what the draw was, and the expansiveness, what they were able to do with the series, playing some of this older Souls game, which I like I said, I wasn't the greatest at it, but I saw the differences and had that experience and was able to kind of draw from it to see what they did. I appreciated what they did, and I think watching what it was able to do and how it was able to reach a far greater market than any of the other Souls games before it was impressive, and it did amazing. And I played a little bit of Ragnarok, and I love the old God of War, the God of War remake from 18. I thought that was an incredible game. And so I see the draw of that. So it's kind of hard for me to call that without finishing it completely. But yeah, no, I see how they're close. I'd say close. I'd say Elden Ring, in my opinion, still takes it, but I still have to really get into the other one to really call that, as far as honestly, from a standpoint of what I enjoyed the most. Oddly, the indie game I would say would be the Shredder's Revenge, the Ninja Turtles game. I thought that was a fucking awesome game. It was a great retro game that really pulled everything from what I remembered from the arcades, things from old game systems in the past, and it was able to just mimic it and be able to take it in new directions in little ways and make you feel like you're playing a game that was maybe, made back in the 90s, but to even feel relevant, new, and interesting again, bring it all back. I thought that was great. Another game that I've put quite a bit of time in and I'm still playing is, of all things, is Pentiment. It's a very slow, deliberate game. It's all text driven. It's not, there's no speaking in it, so you have to read everything that's there, but it's also very involving, and it draws, if you let it, I like mystery games, I like murder mysteries, so that draws me in. And as far as first person shooters, for me, it's pretty easy. I would say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 really is the one I've enjoyed the most, especially the multiplayer. But High on Life it's a different experience. It's amazing, and it's fucking hilarious all on its own. It's a great game. It's well worth playing, and it's a totally different animal. It's not a technical shooter that's incredible, but what you do in it is so unique and interesting. It's almost like a tie in that regard in those two. But that's pretty much my list there.
You made more of with Pentiment, and that the way you described it, murder mystery, and that drew me in more than anybody else out there on Twitter. Talking about that
with
now, I'm like,
Pentiment, yeah,
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta play this.
well,
I gotta play this now.
If you let it draw you in, it's a great game. It really is.
It can be daunting when you start it. The key to it is it's certain games when you start them. I mean, the first blush of games can turn people off so quickly. It's amazing. I mean, it's happened to me a ton of times. But you put it in, you start it, you're like, what the fuck is this? Am I going to play this? What's going on? That when you give it a few minutes, kind of let it settle in, and then just kind of pay attention to the story a little bit and the people. And that's another thing that's amazing about it is the characters. It's a deep game with a huge number of characters that you interact with. And that's what gets even more interesting. And it has a system that's similar to other RPGs where when you speak to people, they remember your responses, and then you have to convince them. You have to build up certain kind of charisma so that when you talk to people, you can convince them with what you're kind of persuade them to do, and to do the things you want them to do, so you can finish solving the mystery. And I'll probably end up playing it again a couple of times just to try to figure out ways to convince people that I wasn't able to do the first time. So that's kind of the nature of that game as well. It's interesting in a strategic aspect. Yeah.
Oh, and in the case of Wise, if you're going to play that game, have your kids play with you so they can read it to you. Okay.
Oh man.
Man, that was that. That was a lot.
Did you feel it?
Oh man,
Paul
Wise,
needs to
do you
come
have
on
anything to
more
say?
often. Paul, we need you next week, Paul.
What? Wise has nothing to say. What the hell just happened?
He might have fallen asleep or muted himself. Never know.
I said my kids can't read either. I don't know how that's going to help anything.
Muted.
Oh my god!
But if I
Man.
smoke enough weed, I think those characters will start talking to me. So maybe I'll play while I'm high.
Oh boy.
You could come on here while you're high. I'd appreciate that.
Oh.
What?
Okay, I'll be
back. Jim, what are your game awards? You put it into the chat. I think there was only 2, but still in all, tell us what those are. Is Jim eating still? Oh,
No.
there's Jim.
He's here.
I don't know all the categories, but for the 2 that I would pick, the series, like X1, X2, X3, all the way up to X4, because I just keep going back to those. They're the ones by Egosoft. They're from like about, if I remember correctly, the mid 2000s, give or take. And then the newest flight simulator from Microsoft. And then Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3.
Ooh.
And yes, even Andromeda. I do go back to that one every so often.
I still have to play that. I've been told it's good, but it's not good, and things like that.
I would call it a mixed bag.
Okay. All right. So we'll last half an hour or so. Just want to go through everybody's kind of like year in review. What was something good that happened this year, and then what was something bad that happened this year? Luke, start us off because you were all ready, gearing to go. Start us off with this topic here.
Okay, so I'm gonna cheat. I want to give the good thing that happened to me and a good thing that happened to the industry. So a good thing that happened to me is I got on the Doomslayers den. So I'm very happy to be here and to share all the laughs with you guys.
I love you, man.
So
I
it wasn't
don't
that you moved to Texas? I thought it was good.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fellas, I am very comfortable in my masculinity to say I freaking adore being on here with you guys and chatting it up with you guys. Except for Wise. I love everyone except for Wise. The good thing that happened to I'm joking. I love you too, Wise. The good thing that happened to the industry, in my opinion, is the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Whether this thing goes through or not, right? Not everything, but a lot of things that we've been assuming and projecting and coming up with rumors about, a lot of this stuff is just getting exposed. Stuff that was obfuscated in the past and we had to depend on IGN and making a calculated guess. Now Jim comes out and he says it. Phil comes out and he says it. Satya comes out and they say it. We now know official news, stuff like, PlayStation literally pay to make games skip Xbox. We now get the inner workings of the industry we so love and adore. So that's a good thing that happened to the industry. A bad thing that happened to me is I met Wise. A bad thing that happened to
A bad thing
that happened to the industry is the lack of next gen only games that maintain 60 FPS. With the release of the new consoles, I don't know what you guys were expecting, but me specifically, I wasn't expecting everything to look like freaking Gears of War 5 or God of War. I was focused on 60 FPS, and I'm very disappointed in 2022. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Triple, you're good and bad of the year.
Man, I'm genuinely trying to rack my brain here to figure out the good and bad, and not just fall back on, oh, your fucking Elden Ring came out this year. That's the good part. Um, I say that, but no, like Elden Ring was such a huge highlight for me in terms of the enjoyment I got out of that. But I guess to borrow from what Luke says, the good or bad, depending on, I mean, really, however you want to look at it, is with the ABK deal and understanding this the information behind the scenes of what's going on. So this, as us consumers, is getting more of an insight of how the industry works is a bit of an interesting thing. So that can be good or bad depending on, I guess, which side you're on. I guess the bad thing, not that I personally have a huge horse in a race or however the phrasing goes, but just seeing the disappointment people have with Square Enix and how Octopath Traveler is the sequels on Switch and PlayStation, but it's skipping the Xbox, even though the first one's on Xbox, as well as the Pixel remaster is going to Switch.
Don't
and
get me started on
PlayStation.
that shit, please.
Yeah, it's
Please.
like again, I'm not personally hurt over it, but when I at least speaking about it, is just calling out the inconsistency is the biggest concern, or not even concern, but the biggest issue I have, I guess. Like I still have a PlayStation, I have a Switch, so I can easily get these games if I wanted to, but just the lack of consistency, especially with like Crisis Core coming out on Xbox and the remake is still exclusive to PlayStation. So it's like I guess that's the bad I can think of. Like I said, I can't really think of too
You're
much.
too objective, man. You're too objective.
What? Oh,
Be a fanboy. Life is easier than that.
Oh yeah, bad Xbox got no games. Jokes
See,
aside,
now you just got
no.
like 500 subscribers.
There you go.
buddy.
No,
Right there.
You've got like 50 new followers on Twitter.
Oh dear
but
God.
but
You
no,
have to
like
draw the line in the sand, say
I'm
what
sorry.
sides you're on, and say the other ones are fuckers.
I'm sorry, but jokes aside, like they're not to take away from Pentiment the things we got into Game Pass, but their first party output definitely needs to be better. And I know people keep saying hopefully wait for next year, but who knows at this point? So that's definitely a bad, but I think that's really the most I can think of. Still no Switch Pro, so that's always what the fuck is that?
Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
that-
from the beginning, but that's just saying.
I that's about it before I get canceled or something like that. Or so that's about
When you
it.
start shitting on Switch, you're getting close to the sun when you start shitting
Oh,
on
man,
Switch.
yeah, probably. I just want like
No.
I barely touch my Switch. I just want to be stronger, but whatever. Yeah, let's go
Yes,
with that one. Yeah.
that is exactly what it is. Fucking lots of it.
Oh boy. Paul, you're good and bad for the year.
You
asking for
know,
good?
I am. And my bad doesn't shut up. There. Anyway, no. I'm really kind of middle of the road on a lot of things because there are so many things going on in my personal life and in the world in general that I don't put a high priority on all the Xbox got no games, no first party shit. I've had plenty of games to play. It's does it bug? Am I upset that, or am I kind of let down that Starfield didn't come out already? Sure, but it's coming, so I can wait. And same with all the other games. So I don't put a lot of weight on that. I think, like they said, the good thing is the ABK deal did bring out a lot of the shady stuff on all sides that kind of goes down, and maybe some of that will be corrected. And maybe not after it's all said and done. But as far as good or bad, I just like the fact. Good for me is the fact that I have had all these games to play. I've been introduced to through Game Pass games that I would have never tried otherwise. And as a handicap player, I've always said Game Pass is like accessibility because now I can try these games without throwing $60 or $70 out, and all of a sudden getting the game home and not being able to play it, and then going, okay, now I've just wasted all that money, So that's a good for me. I think. Other than that, if I was being totally honest, the bad for me is the polarity of the trolls and the console warriors online. They just drive me crazy because I want to sit there and correct all this bad information all the time and tell them to shut the fuck up.
Ooh, man. No, Paul, don't be
Doing the
stealing my
kneecaps with a
thunder.
baseball.
Don't be stealing it.
Baseball bat.
Well, it's because it's like a lot of things. They don't use their brain. They just use, I'm on a Sony, or I'm on a PlayStation, or I'm on an Xbox. Okay, use your brain, and it doesn't matter. I use both. I have access to my friend's PlayStation. I play it all the time. I have access to, I have my Xbox. I play it all the time. You don't have to be one or the other, or hate on one to show that you like the other. So stop it. That's
Remember
all
what
I
we
gotta
talked about?
say.
Just walk away, Paul. Just walk away. Come on.
that's
I don't walk anywhere. That's part of the problem.
Was it you argue with
Oh my
idiot?
God, Paul,
Can't
what
turn
the-
around fast enough.
I
Did you see what
did.
Paul just said?
Yeah, that's me. I said I don't walk away. I don't walk anywhere. Yeah,
I stomp their nuts into dust. That's what I fucking do.
yeah.
Jesus,
Right.
Paul.
Paul.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I'm very self-depreciating, very self-aware
Dust.
in that regard. Yes.
You're making me feel bad. Like
You
that was
definitely
so
need your own
funny.
shirt, Paul, that says your logo on the front and shut the fuck up on the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
feel
appreciate you,
so
Paul, but you
bad,
can
but
deprecate
I'm-
yourself all you want.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Man.
I can smell you.
Okay. Sorry. Noof, what
Yeah.
is your good and bad for the year?
Ooh, that's a really tough question because honestly, I felt like 2022 has been mostly one of the most ho-hum years in history of gaming. Nothing really stood out and blew my mind this year, even as good as the top games were, like God of War, for example. Still mostly felt like a retread of 2018. Like it really didn't it didn't have the same impact on me as 2018, but yet it was a really good game. Like if that makes any sense.
Agreed. No, that
Um,
makes sense. Totally,
Yeah, it was
exactly.
more of the
DLC.
same, basically. It was. Yeah.
Say it.
And
Was it
You can, say
DLC?
what you like, but it felt almost too familiar. Like
David Jaffe was correct.
Sometimes that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just, it's still the same environment, largely the same kind of enemies, a lot of that sort of stuff. But anyway, I'm not here like to go on with that. Like again, you kind of brought light to the subject. We're 2 years in to this current gen of consoles, and I'm still not seeing a ton of games that are truly utilizing all the power and the ability. As a matter of fact, the one thing that's bugging the crap out of me, and I don't know why it is, and maybe I'm just stupid and I don't know enough about this stuff, but it's like look at all. Look, one of the promises we were sort of given is with this PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, like wasn't like frame rates and resolution almost a thing of the past. But yeah, here we come. Every game that comes out now can't seem to do both at the same time, or has to do one, or has a mode. And do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, what are we buying here? Like this stuff, if 4K is really such a big problem, like everybody having such a massive issue making games run it decently at 4K, then scrap 4K altogether.
Thank you.
because it's
Exactly.
become-
Drop to 1440p.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I will
fucking
take 60
stupid, right?
and 14
Oh, God,
1080 if
yeah.
I have to. Like, I'm tired
People
of
have
4K.
proven time and time again that people prefer smooth gameplay and faster frame rates as opposed to like super eye blistering resolution. And if I can't have one without the other, then what's the point? It's always just like, I don't know, there's too many compromises and concessions being made. There's too much old hardware they're trying to make stuff for. That shit needs to die at this point. It needs to go away. Like move on. I'm not paying $600 for consoles that are basically barely doing anything different than my Xbox One X did. Okay, that's the problem.
Okay. Real quick here. We're only 2 years. You say 2 years, but it is only 2 years, and one of those years was a pandemic year. But other than that, it's even at the end of the life cycle of the Xbox One X and whatever, we still hadn't totally. We were just then reaching the apex of what they were capable of.
Mhm.
So I mean, that takes time. That's going to be another couple of years before we really start
All right,
getting
well, let's
into
hope it weans
No,
itself out.
these
but
consoles can do.
No, that's not true. I think what Noof is saying is that I think that one of the reasons we're not even getting close to seeing what the apex is because all of these developers are still coding for the lower generation. So there's really no way for us to test the power of either of these.
That's not true of all games. It's just they have to they are already pushing the envelopes in some ways. It's just getting it all to come together, and that's something that's a growing pain we've gone through with every console. Went through it with the 360
No.
from the one from the and from the 360
You know,
to the one.
and outside of the hardware side, well, what are we also seeing? We're also seeing escalating prices, which I guess come for the territory, but we're seeing games going up, the consoles now are going up.
Yeah.
You know, everything's going up. So it's getting stiffer on the wallet. You know, we're also hearing now that Xbox is pretty soon going to start us up in their prices as well. Like, you know, it just takes one of the industry leaders to start, and then everybody follows. Yeah, but Nintendo's been getting away with it for years. You know, that's another disappointment. Nintendo's been in this game for how long, and yet still has the worst online in pretty much gaming history. You know, how
Worst
can you have an
online,
online
worst
that
What
console.
you get
How can
Sega
you have-
Genesis?
how can you have a
Mhm.
system that has worse
Mhm.
online than the original Xbox? You know, that came out in 2001. Like, seriously, get with the times, Nintendo.
Well,
Um,
Sony got dragged into it too because they were very much in Nintendo's camp in that old Japanese way of doing things, and Xbox really challenged them and brought them to where they had to step it up. I mean, so
and
Nintendo's just
PlayStation's when
and Nintendo's
PlayStation
held them-
first hit the online scene, it was
Like-
ugly. I mean, it was
yeah, and Nintendo's held
ugly.
themselves outside of that for a long
Yeah.
time, and they still are, and that's
It's
kind of the
because their
problem, too.
console still keeps selling 100 million fucking units every
You know,
day.
Well,
it's
yeah,
also-
plus, yeah.
it's also 2022, and has anybody
Wise, try to sound less hurt by Nintendo sales. Jesus.
They sold 110 million. God
Oh, Nintendo. You know, but I'd say if there's one really highlight of all this is that indies have carried our industry largely, and they've
Yes.
gotten a lot more
Oh, yeah.
spotlight. And because of places like Game Pass, and because of a lot of AAA games slipping the radar, getting pushed back, it seems like we've seen a lot more indies come to life and get a lot more attention than they probably would have gotten in other years. Like right now, seeing people love and play High on Life over on Xbox Game Pass is absolutely amazing. It's a game that I can't wait to get my hands on and play it. You know, it looks dynamite and it looks like a ton of fun, and I'm all for that. So right now, it's not about having games. We have tons of them. 2022 was a good year for having lots of games. We just maybe we didn't get some of the ones we had hoped for. Obviously, there's been lots of delays and disappointments. Let's hope that's mostly in the rearview mirror. That 2023 is like an epic year for all the companies involved, and certainly it should be one from Microsoft. If it's not, boy, I don't even know what to say. We'll come back and revisit it in 12 months, and we'll find out. But
Just wait till
yeah,
next year.
overall, like I said, I felt it was kind
Just
of a
wait till
whole hum year. Nothing really blew my mind, and nothing was really that bad. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Also, I'd like to add.
The pizza.
And the
Like that
president is
something-
calling.
I'd like to add something real quick on
That's
Wise's
Jim Ryan.
point
I got a bunch
on
of him.
Nintendo sales. If I'm like a super overweight dude and I'm dating Giselle Bundchen or something, and she doesn't bitch about my weight, I have no motivation to lose it. So Nintendo, as long as their consoles sell like hotcakes, they
Don't
have
be rude.
no they have
That's
no
the point.
motivation to sort out their internet or anything else. They'll
Right.
keep making games like Pokemon Arceus that looks like us,
No,
but
no,
it sells
they got
more.
no. Forget
looks
Arceus.
better
Nintendo,
than
you are a
Uncharted.
fat bitch that
At
has no
least-
motivation.
At least Arceus is fucking playable. Scarlet is not even goddamn playable, and it's sold like what 10 million units in the first 3 freaking
Hey guys,
days.
come on now.
There you go.
That new Diglett
you
is
go.
like amazing or whatever. The one that
So
looks white.
So in my analogy, Giselle can't even get me hard. I can't even get hard. And she's still not bitching. She's still not bitching. She's happy
And
as fuck.
still
She's buying me
flaccid.
presents, and she's always smiling.
Who's your
That's the
daddy?
analogy.
Like a wet noodle.
Oh, so it's okay for him to throw out the sexual innuendos, but not me.
Yes,
Ah,
yes,
we
we work
say
better.
you have to keep it tame. You know, there's he used like his
I think-
1, 2, 3, 4
I think you guys are
points
being
per
racist
day.
towards Indians.
That was you put that out there yourself, so that's on you, buddy. Don't. Hey man, I understand you want to voice your concerns and speak out, but don't put it in our mouths.
I'm
being
not
safe.
racist. I hate everybody equally.
Right.
You like it?
What?
That works for me.
including
Nintendo,
myself.
you're a fat bitch that is unmotivated.
Now here's the money.
That's today's motto.
Now here's the money.
Yeah.
Finish the statement, dude. You give it all that. You say all that shit. They're like, now here's some money.
Hey man, it's like soda pop, man. We know it's not good for us, but we can't stop drinking it. You know what I mean?
Or masturbation.
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
No comment. No comment. I'm
Oh,
good.
okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. And like I'm not,
It's
I was
free to
wrong.
masturbate, but you have to buy the toilet paper.
That easy pussy.
I've gone for 4 glasses already this year.
Who's doing the voice? What the fuck?
It might be me. That's what I
That's
do,
Darth.
buddy.
That's Darth.
Come on, guys, let's get this show rolling. Come on, let's do it. Come on, push it along here.
Settle down, Arnold. I'll put you in your place soon, buddy.
What the fuck?
The show's going off
This
the
show's
rails right
gone
now.
sideways. This show's
I
right,
have
all right,
to
who's
leave.
last?
This
Who
is
was
too much Indian hate.
Oh my god. So yeah,
Microsoft
what's
just-
everyone's excited
Where were we?
about next
Okay,
year?
so I'm gonna.
Where
Well, of
were
course,
we?
it goes right to Wise on this one, but
Uh-oh.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Wise.
His wife
What is
farting
your
again.
good and bad?
The good and bad are actually the same exact freaking thing for me, at least. One of the major good and bad is the exact freaking thing. It's the ABK deal. So when it was first announced, it was pretty exciting. Finally, hey, Microsoft is growing a pair and trying to really, upend the industry. And the fact that I'm looking forward to Diablo 4 even more so with the previews out and it going to Game Pass day one if the ABK deal goes through. Seems very interesting to me. Now, don't say I'm a cheap bastard. I bought plenty of games. I show it all the time. I buy plenty of games. But if I can get Diablo 4, which is going to be a gacha game anyways, and it looks good, and I can get it on Game Pass so I can just be responsible for buying all my cosmetics, then hey, go for it, So that's the good thing about it all. At least, Microsoft is showing that, hey, we actually want to compete this generation. What a fucking concept. But the bad thing is the ABK deal. I'm fucking bored with this topic, man. Every time, my YouTube streams, my timeline on Twitter, it's always the ABK. Come on, give it a fucking rest. It's either going to go through it and ain't going to go through. It doesn't matter.
But Wise, you don't understand. If it doesn't go through, or if it does, my firstborn son will die. I don't know. That's how some people.
The moon
My-
will crash into the earth if it doesn't
Exactly.
go through.
We will all
On
die
a personal
horrible
note,
death.
my good news is that I got to be a consistent streamer with you guys because now I can justify my alcoholism to my wife. I'm like, hey, do you know who I'm streaming with? I need it. So, and the bad news
We need it
is
more than
that-
you do. We need it more than you do. Trust me.
Exactly.
Hey,
Thank
I
you.
spread the
About to
love.
Grab me a bottle after hearing that.
And the bad news is that my tumor that I've been living with for the longest time has finally been coded as being in remission. It's not growing, it's not shrinking. And why it's bad news is because now the doctor's not going to give me the nice drugs. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, hurt me more so I can get the drugs, please.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry to hear that, man.
Are you sure it's not growing? I think it's still growing. I think I need more of those Percocets. So
The same thing he
Always
says
more.
about his penis. Are you sure?
He needs
no,
more
that-
penises? What?
my penis is MIA, missing in action. Just missing, not even in action. So,
You fucked up.
as I told my wife, if she can find it, she can cut it. So
What?
What?
Doom, save us. What the fuck is going on?
Say
He
if
is
she
just
can
having a
find
really
it, she
fun
can
time
cut
with
it.
that soundboard right now.
yep, if she can find it, she can cut it off.
Oh,
Oh,
Joke's on her. I'm not
wow.
seeing it for 47 years.
He needs some milk.
Darth, what is your good and bad of this year?
What the fuck are we talking about, dude? I'm so lost, man.
You're good.
Cutting
and
dicks
bad
off.
this year.
That's what we're talking about.
Drinking beer and
Dicks
just
cut
having a
off.
good time, man. Well, I'm glad to have one job this year instead of 3 like last. So that's my personal best. I'm happy about that.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Hopefully the money's still good.
Although, yeah, money's good. Standing on top of rooftops and freezing my dick off, that's another thing. But it happens. But as far as like industry good, yeah, it's. I think I kind of agree with Noof. It's been kind of a meh year in a way. To address something that he mentioned, I personally believe that the new console should have waited at least another year. I think they were way too underbaked before they dumped everything out. I think, for that matter, if anybody remembers back when the Xbox One X days, when Phil mentioned there was an original announcement for the Series X before it was called the Series, before we knew what it was called, when it was the code name, he mentioned that it was going to be 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. And then a couple of months later, they amended it and made it twice as powerful, which tells me that they were planning it to basically have the capability of 24 teraflops instead of 12. And they pulled it back, I'm pretty sure, because of the cost of the console. Because I'm sure they didn't want the optics of releasing a $700 or $800 console instead of a $500 console. Or
Plus, they are
$400
allowed a
console.
mid-gen.
That's an
Plus, that
absolute
gives them
steal.
it gives them room to release a mid-gen refresh.
Well, but the bullshit part about it is, can you imagine if they would have waited another year or two and brought out a fucking 24 teraflop console for $700? I mean, we're in a shitty spot right now, I understand, but $700 for a console that would compete with a fucking $3,000 or $4,000 PC, that would be amazing. That would actually fuck PCs up a lot, because you could get that much out of them. And I think, yeah, they fucked up bad. They should have waited longer so that the generation could basically complete. I think that whole mid-generation upgrade thing extended the generation further than they allowed it to, and that they jumped the gun so much they didn't allow themselves to recoup money, because they thought, oh, we're going to have dwindling sales, which is hilarious, because you see PlayStation 4 still selling, and PS5s, because they're so short-handed, they focused on PS4s to keep selling them. They kept selling. So obviously the console still had life in it. Both of them did. And they shorted them so that they could bring a new console out, just to basically make people happy, I guess. And instead, like many have said on here already, because of doing so, what they have done is they have now created this weird gap where you have this overlap of performance, and trying to figure out how to make things work. It's compromising all the time now, and that's frustrating as shit. As far as, yeah, the good, the bad, yeah, that pretty much covers it.
By the way, just to make clear, the original Xbox One, which is what he was talking about, was 1.31 teraflops.
Well, 1X.
No, he said the one. So do the math here.
No. He said it was the 1X.
You just said it was the one.
No, I said it was the 1X. The 1X
you did
was
not
what
say
he was
X.
talking
You
about.
did not say X. If we go back to the tape, you did not say X.
Oh my God.
I was listening to you. I was listening to you.
Okay, but Phil did say the 1X.
He did say the 1X. He was referencing the 1X. He was referencing the current standard of maximum performance and saying it's going to be 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. And if I said the one, I misspoke.
You gotta
but he said the
forgive
1X.
Cerebral. He's a bot.
Yeah.
So he's a bot.
Yeah. But nonetheless, and seeing that they, like I said, I think they jumped the gun. They could have extended it and made it last longer. People would have been more upset.
By that point, I mean, even if they would have extended a year, they were still already had those chips and stuff. To me, the Xbox, the Series X was ready to go. The PlayStation 5, on the other hand, definitely needed more time to cook. That one really got pushed out. That one was not ready for prime time when it dropped. So yeah. That one still had features that were not functional.
I still think they both current consoles now have a ton of life in them. And yeah, I think that their focus on graphics and it's not just graphics anymore, not just resolution, it's the features that they've added to them. We used to think of like TLSS, all these different features that the PC would put in, all these different sampling that we would do. Oh, that's great. Now they've put something in that's so demanding of the CPU and the GPU that you have to have a high-end PC to even do it. And they're like, we're going to put it in the console, but they put it in a console that really is going to struggle with it. And their compromise is now resolution and frame rate. And it was like I said,
again,
there were bad decisions made.
Again, I think that's something that's going to be worked out as the generation moves on.
I think that's going to be worked out by mid-gen upgrades, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Seriously,
A
I
lot
think
of it's
they're
going to be worked out through software, they have patches and fixes. Xbox
there's a lot of
I
things they can
hate
do,
been-
but they can't do all of it though. Yeah,
They
that's
can
the
do
problem.
They can do quite a bit of it because that's
They can do quite a bit, but 12 teraflops is limited to its. I mean, they have to do a lot of things to try to make up for it. But the problem is when you look at it from the standpoint of just technologically what they can handle with that, there's things that they can't overcome without actually upgrading hardware. And I think that's
Well,
probably
yeah,
what's going to end up happening.
But by doing what they did keep costs down because they knew sorry, even now a $700.
But they're not stupid. They need.
But Microsoft is losing money on every console, though,
Right,
and I
but
think
it- but
Sony's
they-
probably
they-
doing
they-
the same.
But they don't want to. Okay, the difference between losing money on a $500.
If they would have waited 2 years, maybe they wouldn't lose as
console.
much. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yes, they would. Yes, they absolutely would.
Maybe they would have made
Yeah,
more money
I-
than the
would
old
have-
ones.
I agree with
Nothing would have
Nelson.
changed
What
in
we
the 2
got is
years.
pretty good. Yeah, I think, especially with the GPU prices having skyrocketed after a while, the
Yeah.
prices probably could be even more absurd. So it's again agreeing with what Nelson said. I'm pretty happy with the consoles that we have. I guess the biggest issue is this one thing. I just hope that each game has that option of performance mode or visual fidelity or frame rate. That's pretty much all I personally need.
Well, yeah. Having them
And you're
focus on
talking about
something
it-
that gives you PC options is great. It's great to finally see consoles meet PC in that sense of where you can choose which way you want to go. That is good.
But you're talking about, if it was 24 terabytes or whatever you said it was,
Teraflops, yeah.
24
Terafloppies.
teraflops or whatever,
Titty floppies.
whatever.
Terrible flops.
That it would be a good deal for gaming, but it's still a good deal for gaming because you still can't build what these consoles offer for the price that they're offering for $500.
Well, no, you
can't
can't.
Again, especially after this GPU increase and freaking 1660s going for
Well,
double the
and
price. Like,
once
oh, shit.
again, that's because they're taking a massive loss on it. Yeah, that's why you
Yeah.
can't build it. Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
the loss isn't massive, but they've
Which
always
is-
taken a loss on the hardware.
Yeah, which is
it's
the
like
norm.
$300 or
They-
$400 per console. It's something like that. It's some
Yeah,
crazy
I
amount of money.
I think Sony earlier this year or last year said they're kind of breaking even on. I had to research it, but
I'd have to check.
taking the loss is the norm.
Let's call a spade a spade here. They've done the optics, they've done the numbers crunching, they've seen that the market is receptive to a mid-gen refresh, and this allows them some wiggle room to make a mid-gen refresh, both for PlayStation and for Xbox. The new PlayStation that they announced with the removable DVD drive, I guarantee you, or Blu-ray drive, I guarantee you that's going to be their answer to or their mid-gen refresh or something like that.
Sony's already been making a profit on the consoles. They said that like
Oh, have they?
early this year,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
if not last year, or what? It was roughly about 6 months to give or take.
and then they up the price
After
of the
the
house anyway.
yeah, and then they hiked the price up, and yeah,
Yeah.
the whole gigantic kerfuffle
You
You
occurred.
know, inflation. We got to
And-
make some
and-
money here.
And if I recall
sound like
correctly,
Sony at all.
Xbox was making profit on the Series S's.
Oh, they're
I
making
wouldn't be
tons of
surprised.
profit. Well, yeah, they're making profit in the
Well,
Series
Series
S
S
because the
very much.
GPU cost. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's been like, well, if
Like
Sony's
half,
making
20%.
profit on the console and admitted to that, why are they hiking the price up for everyone else in the
We are a
world?
company. We want money.
And to be-
That's-
Pretty
And
much.
to be honest with you, like I've been out shopping, you can find a Series S easily. I've not been able to find an X or a PlayStation 5 in the past.
If you live outside the US,
Yeah,
A lot of that depends on where you're at.
on the
too.
physical shipping and manufacturing went up.
So-
Yeah.
Let me do this. Let me get Jim in here because we're
Do
just
it.
about at the 2 hour mark. And I want to make sure I get everybody out of here. But Jim, what is your good and bad for the year?
Good thing is the shitty year is almost over. The bad is, well, I don't know. We're almost at
Better
the end
not
of
say
the
my
year.
name. Thank God.
It's your name. That's the bad part of the year.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
What? I just said, yeah, say your name.
Is that what you say each night?
I think you missed a joke. No, but the bad thing is, I guess we're almost at the end of the year, and Oh, and then the other good thing is I beat Stray in about 96 minutes, so take it for what it's worth.
96 minutes. Good lord. Head mouse, an hour and a half or something like that.
That cat was
That's the
booking,
longest-
baby.
I-
That cat was.
That's the longest you've ever played with pussy, isn't it?
Oh God! How long do you have that one in the barrel?
Hey, Wise.
Is always this.
At least I was able to get the pussy.
Look at this guy.
Hey, I can't fault him for that answer. That I got to concede to that one. That's a good
Oh
one.
my God.
But I'm hoping that happened in 47 years, so it's gonna happen eventually. I have a Christmas hope.
I mean, one of these days you might get pussy. I mean, I guess if I go to the pet shop, I can buy you some pussy there.
No, they don't want anything to do with me either.
Yeah, so how about them Mets? Yeah, I don't know. Who
No, we're talking about the Yankees before we talk about the Mets.
okay, I'm not.
What do you know about Yankees and Mets? How do you keep up with American sports?
Hey man, Triple's one who brought up the Mets. Wasn't me.
Okay.
All right,
fucking
that's going
Mets.
to that's actually a good lead into Lokes. Do you have anything on your last word for the night
Yeah, I
for
do.
your segment? Okay, let me
I
make
do.
sure I got you loud and clear. But go ahead, sir.
All right. Last point. Microsoft and Sony need to stop fighting for the duration of the holiday season. If it's not Xbox playing dead and pretending not to be a part of the biggest tech company on the planet, if it's not that, it's PlayStation bringing forward the most disingenuous argument ever presented by complaining about potential exclusivity while being the company that makes the most third-party exclusives in the entire industry. Phil and Jim, take this opportunity to hug it out and let Oh No It's Alex have a week off. The amount of salt that man has been having to process this year is ridiculous. Bro had 1 or 2 white hairs in January. Now he looks like Santa Claus. As
Oh
for,
my gosh!
as for the gamers, be jolly, people.
See you later, stage.
Be jolly, people. We are on the cutting edge of the best medium in the history of humankind. Please start acting like it.
Yeah,
Thank you for listening.
I saw this video about the kid getting something for Christmas. I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with y'all at this point. Like some people say it's trolling. Like at this point, it's not entertaining trolling. You're just exactly.
It's sad, man.
So it's extremely sad. Yeah.
It's just
It used to
You
be
mean
funny.
Twitter
Now
was
it's just
toxic?
sad.
Say it ain't so. Jeez.
What?
You're saying
It
Twitter
is
was
not.
toxic? Oh my God! Say it ain't so, please.
My favorite
Hey,
one
man,
is
the
that
sky's
guy
blue.
about a
The
couple
sky's
years
blue. Go
ago.
outside and check.
That guy that opened up the PlayStation 4 a couple years ago, and the cat was next to him, and the cat pitched into him. That was one of the best ones. Oh my God!
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah,
Doof?
you can. It's on Twitter. It's been like memed a dozen times. Just look up. I'm sure if you
PS4
look it up,
cat?
you'll find it. Guy gets PS4. Cat pitches into him. He's sitting there and he's all excited. Ripping the fucking wrapper off, and the cat just.
I know
right
exactly
above
what you're
him.
talking about. Yes, that was a good one. That was a real
Oh my God, that was funny.
Oh, y'all.
And people be
y'all
like,
want-
"Yeah, he should have got an Xbox."
Oh wait, is this?
all jokes aside, I forgot to
got
tell
the
you guys
Uncharted.
this.
Damn.
Dude, his
Are
ear
you
got
watching
almost
it?
torn off. Holy Christ.
Oh my gosh, you should have
Oh.
got Laura Croft, man. We talked about this. Oh my gosh.
You got Uncharted. I just wanted a new litter box for Christmas, bitch.
Oh man. Oh, sorry.
All right. Well, we're going.
Well,
to...
here's something. One more thing before I
safe
go.
word is
This is
catnip.
so. Every year, me and my wife, we save some money per month, and every year we go and we buy stuff for the hospital here locally, and the pediatric ward. And this year, because it's just a little bit easier to get, we bought 4 PlayStation 5s for the hospital, and we took it there, and they called us an hour and a half later that they can't use the console because the console needs to log in online, and because they're a hospital, they don't have online access, or their online access for like patients is not as strong or whatever. So the PlayStation's not able to access the Wi-Fi to register. So we had to go back.
Mobile
We had to
hotspot.
take back. We had to take back those PlayStation 5s, go back to Best Buy where we got them from, and trade them in for a refund. We had to find 4 PlayStation 4 Pros to get it. So that's kind of, I don't know, weird. I don't know, sad kind of in a way. I mean, like, why can't you just have a console that just accesses or just plays? I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, that was my Christmas story for the PlayStation 5, that I can't even give away these things because it needs an internet. And yeah, the kids were all excited, but they just couldn't, it wouldn't work. So.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Oh, wow.
I got
Why
you
is
confused.
why is just criticized PlayStation unprompted? What is going on? Like my life,
I didn't
my life is
criticize
a lie.
PlayStation. I didn't
My life
criticize
is a lie.
PlayStation.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's well, I thought people were like, giving Xbox shit for that, but yeah, just if no one suggested, you try to hook it up to a hotspot for a quick sec. But if you had to download something, then you SOL. You got the best
It
hotspot.
was amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, now that
It's a
cat-
shame that
yeah,
that you can't even give these things away unless they have like proper internet or something like that. It blew my mind.
Well,
It just,
the
it's like,
new Nintendo 2D SSLL outsold the Xbox Series X in Japan, 48 to 35.
Well,
Nintendo 2DS LL outsold the Series X in Japan. That's fucking embarrassing.
True story.
Here, we can.
I'm sorry. This watching the inside edition of the cat thing and how they add the cat attack sound effects. I was like, yeah, just taking a shit.
Dude, that dude's ear was fucked.
Damn.
He got
Oh
he
my
got
gosh.
torn up by that cat, dude. Total Xbox fan of that cat. Jesus Christ. Fucking Phil Spencer's cat, for fuck's sake.
Get him. Take him down.
Yeah,
That looks like
you
that's
didn't see the
kinda
cat on the shelf?
Steve Ballmer would have had.
I don't know. That cat's not violent. Sir.
That cat's not violent. I love my kitty cat. You're an idiot. Get rid of it.
The
next time Phil
The
next time Phil streams, you'll see the cat on the shelf in the back sitting there.
Straight. It's coming to Xbox.
But our story is gonna be better.
All right, let me get everybody out of here. It's over 2 hours and that stuff. I want to get everybody.
Damn it.
So they can start doing, enjoying their weekend and that stuff.
You mean going to have my
Oh,
daughter
what
open
is
some
there,
presents? Yeah, I'm about ready to go.
Yeah, I got mine wrapped and I want to get them the hell out of here. Hopefully,
What
Christmas
weekend?
Day done and over with.
What weekend? No
First, what
fucking
I want to
money,
do
no
is I want to thank the Gaming After Dark crew and that. Really appreciate you guys jumping on with us tonight and being our guests. You guys were freaking awesome in that. I hope we can do this again. Try to work out, everybody's schedule in that and bring everybody together.
You're the sucker invited us, so I mean, do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, definitely. Because you know what, we are technically missing a panel member, and that is Mr. Retro. He is in. I don't know what it's the. I'm losing the track of the word in that. Walmart, Target. What is it called? Triple.
I was gonna say he's in Gran Turismo. Just leave it that. That's where he's at.
Yeah, the shopping stores and that. So that's why he wasn't able to join us tonight. He's working. It's like a 24/7 shift or something like that. He was saying.
Security,
but we miss him. I miss him in that. But when we'll have him back with all you guys back in that. So what I'll do is I'll start with the main man, Noof. Tell everybody where they can find you, your show. I will, if anybody is interested, in the description, I will have everybody's information where you can find Noof's show and that, his channel, all that will be set up. But Noof, tell everybody where they can find you and what time your show is and when it is and that.
First of all, thank you for having us all here. Yes, we are known as Gaming After Dark, Tuesday nights, 10 Eastern, 8 Mountain Time. Or sometimes we might also be listed as the Junction of Dysfunction. Yes, we are quite the crew, and we have a lot of fun on our show. Sometimes we go way off the train tracks and somewhere into the sewage. But we are there every Tuesday night. It's always a good show. When you can't find me there with these fantastic gentlemen, you can find me on Sunday morning for Good Morning Xbox. It is at 9 a.m. Eastern and 7 a.m. Mountain Time on my YouTube channel. So that's pretty much it for me. A lot of people follow me over on Twitter. I don't know why, but I'm there and full of hot air. So it's good to be on the show. Thanks for having us. Look forward to coming back in the future. And for all the panel members, I've never done a podcast before. It was an honor and a pleasure. And I look forward to doing this again. Take care, everybody.
Definitely. Yeah. I've heard you on Mooch's show, RDX, Booms, everybody. So it was great that Wise asked you and you guys were able to jump on.
Yeah, I'm like a hooker. I've been around.
And
Oh,
he's
so
got
okay,
the
he
diseases
does
to
it
show.
too.
And he's got the diseases to show for it.
That's what I was going to say. Watch out for that clap. It's hard.
No, just that one rash that just wouldn't go away. That's all.
Yeah, that was called Wise Old
I really
Gamer.
wanna think about a rash.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
hey.
Paul, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on the socials, and if you have a channel on that, both you and Darth, make sure if you guys do send me your links in that, so I make sure I put it into the description so everybody can be able to find you and everything. Because apparently, Loke, I put his Patreon in, and he's gotten some extra Patreon guys, so it does work.
Nice.
So give me information, I'll put it out there. But where can they find you, sir?
So you can find me on Twitter at CerebralPaul1. You can find me on Twitch on CerebralPaul. You can also find me on Twitch on the Xbox Ambassador channel on Monday mornings, 10 a.m. Pacific or 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. In the UK. For my show Gaming Differently with Cerebral Paul, where I just game, but I also talk about accessibility in gaming. Again, that's on the Xbox Ambassador Twitch channel. And then you can find me on Tuesdays on Retro Renegades and Gaming After Dark, and Thursdays on 4GQ TV with Carlos Clowns and that crew over there. We do not only do we talk games, but we also do interviews with like comic book artists and people in the industry for games and comic books and stuff. So that's the places you can find me. So,
like I said, I'll make sure I'll have everybody's links in the description. Most likely it'll be tomorrow morning in that, but I'll make sure to have everything up. Darth, thank you for joining us tonight in that. Where can everybody find you on the socials? Any kind of YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Tinder, OnlyFans? I'm not too sure. You have a great voice, so I can imagine.
a grinder. He's on Grinder, but
A Grindr, there you go.
Grindr.
No back
Every
page.
way that it takes.
No back page.
Yeah.
Actually, most you can probably find me on Twitter. That's where I kind of hang out. It's at Praxis Darth. And I just recently had a buddy who has an indie game that he brought out. It's a 90s F1 race game called it's SP Grand Prix. I'll put the link in the description for you if you want to post it. But I did the menu voices for it. So yeah, just
Do me a favor,
recently.
can you DM me all the information so I can make sure?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I just did that, and then if anybody wants to like try to get in touch with me via Xbox, I'm at Darth Praxis, or Darth Praxis is my name on there. So if you look it up, I'm the only one.
I'll have to send you a friend request in that.
Let's see. There you go. I'll
but
think about it. I'll think.
Yeah,
about it.
anybody like I've said over and over, follow these guys, check out their channels and everything. Make sure you check everybody out and see what they're doing in that.
And actually, yeah, if you go to YouTube, you can see my YouTube channel, but it's old. I haven't updated in a little tiny while.
I'm going to still put that in the description. Hopefully, you'll be able to get some people.
I don't think anybody wants to sub to it, but if they want to, they're welcome.
Darth, I know exactly what you mean. I hit a spurt and it like dies for months, and then there's a small spurt and then it dies for months.
Well, that sounds like something you need to talk to a doctor about. But that's my opinion.
I have
concerns, sir.
He's prescribed some pills, but I'm not.
I talked to a she.
If you're not using them, give them to me. If you're not using them, give them to me. I can use them.
She's waiting upstairs, but okay. So Jim, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at on the socials and that, and also your gaming project that you're working on?
Just on the usual Bird app. Usually having the Bird app take a shit on a daily basis. Jim74656. Kind of in a hiatus at the moment, but Natrox Entertainment as well. Currently working on some games. So yeah.
Cool, man.
Nice. Luke, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at and all the shows that you are on?
Same place as usual. At TSWS Gaming every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2300 hours Central African time. Thursdays, Ham Solo does Behind Them Sticks. Tuesdays, we do a quick breakdown of the stuff that happened during the weekend. And I'm on Twitter, Xbox, PlayStation at Loke7. That's double LOUCK 7.
We should add him as a guest panel member on Gaming After Dark so we can refer to him as the freak of Mozambique.
Okay.
He's like, I got this right this time. No Texas, but I got some.
Also, real quick, yes, Doom. Shouting out the Patreon really did help. Thank you very much.
Yeah, whatever I can do to help anybody out in that stuff. So that's why I like putting everything into the description so everybody can find what you guys are up to in that stuff. And I hope it does help out. Triple, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at on the socials and your YouTube channel at?
Is that towards me? I'm sorry, I was listening to something.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter under Triple Combo Gaming. Yeah, that's about it. I sometimes play games and sometimes I don't. So yeah, sometimes I talk about anime as well. Sometimes I don't. Yeah.
Wow, super exciting, bro.
And sometimes he feels like a nut, and sometimes he doesn't. What the hell is that?
Yeah, that's
sometimes I drink Dos Equis. Sometimes I don't.
Sometimes I sleep and sometimes I don't, and that's why I'm tired right now. So.
Why? Tell everybody where they can find you so we can get Triple to bed.
Hold up.
I don't want to get him into bed. What are you talking
No.
Hey, I don't mind betting you, Triple. Okay, it's okay.
Hey,
you can find me.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm equal opportunity. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. You know.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, you can find me. I don't know for how long. You can still find me on these two podcasts. New podcast. What fucking time is your podcast again? I'm sorry.
Association is ending soon.
10 Eastern, 8 Mountain Time, 9 Central.
And Doom, they can find me on your fucking podcast. What time is it again? I keep forgetting.
6:30 Friday nights, and soon to be 11 o'clock in February. The Order of Disorder will be back.
Oh, okay.
So.
And yeah, you can find me on Twitter, WiseOG. Please don't follow me if your panties get in a wrinkle pretty easy, because you won't like my Twitter if you go on it for the first time and you are not used to it. So please be careful.
We don't like you anyway. So I mean,
dude, your Twitter. Wise, you and Wilmy Hood, bro. If I'm in public, I scroll really quick when I see your profile. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I scroll real quick.
NSFW, buddy. Just remember what that means. Not safe for
bro.
And other than that, you can find me surfing OnlyFans to see who I can drop $5 on to get some porn for low.
Oh my gosh,
So
bro! It's free on the
That's
internet.
not free porn.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, it's free on the internet.
Pornhub exists, my friend.
Yeah, say that $5. Go get you a Wendy's $5 meal.
All right, let me do mine, and we can get the hell out of here and that stuff. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Dude, essentially your role, right? Your role, right, on this show is to get everyone to jump on and then try to get us to jump the fuck off. That's your role on
yes,
on
Cat
that.
wrangler,
And
for
that's what
Christ's
I'm trying
sake.
to
I mean,
do now.
Jesus, you know this.
And okay,
I'm trying
don't
to
forget
do
to
that
have
now.
everyone pick on Wise.
Okay, so what I want to do real quick is wish everybody that is right here, right now, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. Everybody here, please stay safe. Have a great holiday and that stuff. Enjoy it with your family and that. I know I'm going to be enjoying the hell out of it with my family, especially my son after what he gets from Santa Claus. But I do also want to sit there and say thank you to all the guests that we've had, from Mag, Pong Soul, Lord Sovereign on here. We've had, we don't follow each other anymore because we got into, a hissy fit drawing TJ. Him and I didn't really connect well with each other, but it is what it is. But all the other guests, Jersey's Finest, Crispy Bomb, which we're going to try and get on next month. But I want to say thank you to all of our guests. One other thing I want to say is thank you to the two panel members that used to be with us, but are no longer with us. That is Mr. Inferno and also Mr. Bushido. Mr. Bushido and we started this. I drove him freaking nuts. Gigantic pain in the ass to him for months. Asked him, when are we going to do this? And then we started this, and everybody that you see here, from Wise and Triple and Jim and Loke and that, Retro, it's all, due to him and basically saying, hey, you know what? I wanted to do this. Let's do this, Doom, and we'll go for it. Thank you very much to him. He had to quit because of some health issues. I'm wishing him the best. I hope to God, everything works out and he can come back to us and on the show maybe next year, and that we'll have to wait and see what happens. But you can we're off next week. I need a break myself. I got all these videos I got to freaking finish before the Darth that I know kicks my ass. But we'll be back January 6th. We have Jay, which is Will777, going to be on. Twisted Sin's going to be a guest. Like I said, I'm going to try and work something out with Crispy. We got a ton of guests in that. Also with the Damage Plan, William Aguilar, Zuby Tech, Hamp, NXG is coming in, Deli's coming in, DZ, all that. So we got we got some good stuff coming up. So hopefully everybody enjoys it. Again, thank you. You guys really, really, really appreciate it. You guys have a great New Year's and Christmas and that. Noof and Darth and Paul. Also to my panel, you guys have a great Christmas. We will see you next year.
Yeah.
And the Wolf
Can I
is
say a
coming
quick
too.
word?
That's right, David. Sorry.
The wolf.
Doom,
Yes.
can I have a word? Can I say a word? 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Hurry up so you can get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Just want to let everyone know
One.
that I'm just
Two.
all you guys know me for what I am, but I just wanted to say that this is the time of year to sort of take inventory of what's going on. I have lived in a situation where next Christmas, forget about next Christmas, next day is not promised to me. So for me, every holiday is a big deal because, in all honesty, I was never even supposed to make it this far. I know Christmas can get chaotic with buying gifts and dealing with different personalities, especially with your relatives, because everyone's sort of stressed out because of Christmas, whatever. But just know that at the end of the day, when you strip everything away, all your intercommunications with each other, and be grateful that you're allowed those intercommunications, because life can find a way of taking it all away from you. So just be thankful. And I very much am.
Yeah.
It's not about what's under the tree. It's about who's around it.
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
Definitely.
Yep.
Family matters.
Yeah.
I'm Italian.
so-
It's about who's under the tree. Okay, I'm just.
Last small tidbit.
It's about me. It's who's under me. Who's under me? That's what matters. What's under me?
Okay, let Triple say what he wants to say.
Yeah, last quick tidbit. You guys, our guests today, you guys are awesome. This is probably the best show that I can recall in recent memory, personally. And just real quick for guys, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, your mobile phone, wherever you play, just enjoy it. Don't get caught up in the console war BS and let people dictate what you enjoy. Like, bro, just have fun. Whatever you get for Christmas or however you're spending your holiday season, just make sure you're having fun doing so. And yeah,
This is just too much hopefulness. What the hell? I feel
tell me about
nauseous.
Texas. Texas, how's
It's
Texas out there, man?
I feel
It's
sick
cold.
right now.
It's
Let's get
I'm
out.
sorry.
all right. We're out of here. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you
Cheers,
next
everyone.
year.
Bye. I'm debating to battle the cold and go get food or just cook